Recording has started now.
I I remember a decent chunk, I think. Not
All
all of
right.
it, but I'm
All
willing to
right.
give it a go, even though I already have inspiration. Um,
Hero.
previ- uh, previously, um, we finished out the remainder of the meeting. Got
Yep.
the votes in. Um, Majority ruled to give us that other shard, but
Yes.
wasn't unanimous. Um, but the party that did have it was one of the people who voted it up, and I think that counts for something. We basically diverted. We caught back up with Stefan as we decided, like, hey, these people. We did a little bit of the interrogation of the other guys. We learned that that they had orders after the whole thing that they were supposed to go back to the sewers, and then they were going to go back to I almost said Ratzit Han because Final Fantasy 14. I don't remember actually what the place is called. Um, the place they were supposed to go where it was basically lawless criminal crime families own it type thing.
You're talking about Haradel.
Yeah, Haradel. Thank you. They were supposed to go back to Haradel and just kind of disappear. Um, they were also told or shown by Mr. Stormwright's secondhand man. They were actually showing off a ton of money to be paid to these people, supposedly to each of these people, and then also promising magic. I believe that he promised like a life extension of at least 1,000 years through magical means, and didn't say much more than that. We asked a few questions on top of that, but they didn't necessarily amount to much. The other thing that Secret figured out was every time they said Darren Stormwright, they literally just kept saying Darren Stormwright as if they were really trying. And it seemed like to Secret that there was some kind of magical compulsion to try to implicate him as much as possible, maybe even more than said people even realized. With that, we also re-examined the medallions. I don't remember exactly if the rule if Pyre's investigation was that
Pyre.
or determination was at one
So
point they were
Pyre.
real.
Pyre basically examined them, and he deduced that they are basically enchanted with an illusion magic to make them look like they're magical, but they're not.
Okay,
They're
that's what it was. But they were never magical in the first place, as far as he knows, outside of that illusion aura.
Emphasis
So these people,
on deduce.
yeah, exactly. We're not 100% sure, but that's our working theory right now, just based off our rolls. We then decided, the nobles are going to keep asking questions, probably stuff we already know the answers to, and nobody can actually. And we strongly discourage investigating or interrogating the big guy yet, since his magical thing can't be removed and literally could potentially turn into anything, including probably exploding, kill everybody in whatever room he's in. So we said, hey, maybe you should probably leave him alone for now. And we're gonna go take care of business. We decided before the other houses could act that we would go find Darren, since we know there's probably a lot of people who are already planning on killing him based off the implications, especially after I already had also name dropped him. He was like, yeah, I don't necessarily like the fact that two of your guys were in this, but you might also kind of sort of be, since you're being honest with me, it seems like you guys also might be the closest thing I have to a chance of coming out of this. So I will cooperate with you to the best ish of my ability, without necessarily he didn't say he was going to compromise anything, but he said he was going to work with us to the best of his ability. um and
He pointed a finger right over to
basically,
Anton, especially since he was Anton, the half elf beggar that you saved, was name dropped by during the interrogation as well.
right, as the guy who was the one showing off all the money and shit. um which of course Darren is just like, that makes zero sense to me. But we're going to Darren's going to try to do his own way of seeing if he can investigate Anton without Anton getting suspicious. He also gave us to like really expedite things. He also gave us a way that we could potentially contact him in an emergency with a flare outside of town in a particular direction. I think it was color purple.
Yep.
Right?
Purple southern side, I think.
Why the
Either way,
hell do I
but yeah.
remember that? I don't know. But there was also a point where Mr. Plague Doctor was following us. He's like, I was just checking up on Ash. But then Plague Doctor had a tale of his own, which I believe we said sounded like a Justicar or something along those lines. Something from the House of Divine is what it sounded like. And we're not sure if they were following us or if they were following Mr. Plague Doctor. But it could realistically be either one at this point, given circumstances in the houses. So, and as Plague Doctor pointed out, those people are not interested in getting the truth. Those people are just making sure you are fucking guilty. That's outside of some talk from like, a little bit more backstory talk for Stefan, as well as Stefan getting his Rod of the Pack Keeper +2, I think it was. It was either 1 or 2, I believe. That's what I remember. How'd I do?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think you touched on
Thanks.
most of the points. Another thing I did want to point out in case you guys didn't notice was when the prisoners negotiated conditions, Crown specifically said, on the account of assassination, we won't charge you. And then as you guys left,
Right.
Divine steps up and says, on grounds of heresy, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, but that's not our problem. So
Yep.
that's literally not our problem.
It could be.
I mean-
who knows?
If they want to try to charge me with heresy, me of all fucking people with heresy, I'd like to see her try.
I mean, you did.
I say
you did
making threats
blaspheme
as a
in
level
front
4
of her.
cleric. Yeah, I say making threats as a level 4 cleric, but I'd like to see her try. I'm sure I can make something happen and pull something out of my ass. But yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that, or at least I didn't remember that. But yeah.
Oh yeah, and before I forget, I'm probably going to forget in the middle of the session, but you do actually get a message back. They were interrogating one of the interrogatees. He was trying to remember something, and then his head blew up.
One of the ones
yeah,
that supposedly had all the magic stripped off of him?
Yes.
Contingency spell?
Who knows?
There was
That's the first. That's
If-
the first thing that popped into my
definitely
head, 'cause-
something godly in there.
Right,
Uh,
When
like
you were-
contingency.
Remember
I'm trying to
the
think.
mind washing?
Right.
Guy had his
I'm
head
just-
hurt when he was trying to remember something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just
It's
trying to
that
think
guy
if the
whose head- his
spell
head blew up.
contingency actually has like an actual, like, if you detect magic, does it have an aura? I don't know if it specifies that or not.
I don't think we have the. Do you want to roll Arcana or Knowledge? Yeah, I think it's
I mean-
Arcana. Arcane.
It wouldn't be religion.
Yeah.
That's outside of my. I mean, listen, I have a -1. I could go for it, but you're the int character.
I mean, it's above my character's skill. I guess he's brushed shoulders with God, so he knows about the spell. I will go ahead and see if he knows accurate knowledge.
Okay. Make
That
the
is
Arcana
worth the roll. Thank you for asking me. I should have just volunteered. All right, so everything has changed. Do you want me to manually make the roll, select my portrait and make the roll?
Uh,
I think you just hit the button, right?
just for this one, you just hit the button. It's not an attack roll, so it shouldn't ask you for anything.
That is a 20.
20. So contingency.
This is more of a
so-
theological rather than personal.
So contingency, it likely should leave something behind. That being said, you're not entirely sure of the nature of whatever spell's on the leader. You weren't it as far as you know, the leader probably couldn't have been too far away from the lackeys from where he was stored. It could have something to do with that, or it could have something to do with a spell that can't be affected by the purification magic. But you don't know what the light magics are fully capable of. It's not any of your domains.
Okay.
Maybe that fake scroll that they were going to use to get away did something anyway.
Or maybe
Possibly.
that's what happened. It was the
It-
after effects of the item.
Yeah,
And
it may have
not-
put something into them that they didn't know happened until later.
Did all of them try to use the item? Because I was there when they were pulling them out.
There was a scroll in every single pack that looked like it was empty that had traces of magic on them.
Yeah, I think one of them must not have done it though. And I pull the scroll out and I hand it to them, to our people, and say, "This is what it looks like." I think maybe you can investigate it and try to figure out if that's what it is. I found this laying on the floor. I don't know which one of them didn't have one. It was in the
So
in
Stefan,
town hall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember where the hell it was.
yeah,
We
in
had
the
that
town
big
hall.
accident. Yeah.
So
I was at the town hall. I went through there and I saw this on the floor. One of them must have dropped it or thrown it away. Maybe it was the leader. Maybe he
And-
knew what it was.
as Stefan says that, you completely unfurl the scroll and show it to people, right?
Yeah, I opened it up and handed it to them.
Okay. And pretty much emblazoned right on the center is the Mark of Solemn. And you can see all sorts of runic markings of a magic scroll just littered all over this piece of paper.
Maybe it was a hell of a lot more than what they thought they were getting.
All right. For those of you magically inclined, I would like you to make an Arcana check if you wish to investigate this.
Well, I'm magically inclined, but I suck at Arcana.
Does a
Well,
priest
Another
count
Arcana
as
check?
magically inclined in this curse?
Hey, I didn't do as bad as I thought.
Okay. We'll take...
Oh, look how perfect.
Okay, we're
This
going to take
Qualtech, a fucking
Stefan.
Eldritch Knight.
Uh,
Sorry, go ahead.
We'll take Stefan's roll first. Stefan, this scroll appears to have some sort of illusion spell that makes you think that you've casted a contingency spell on you that activates a dimension door that teleports you straight down into the sewers.
Interesting. That's
It's-
what they thought they got.
Indeed.
Interesting. I can see why they weren't worried. They thought they could escape quickly. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Whether or not there's anything that you can't discern from just looking at it, that's another question entirely. At the very least,
Well,
you see
that's-
the Mark of Solemn right in the center, and as far as you can tell, it looks like it has some power in it.
Yeah. But no telling what it is. Can you tell? Fire?
So you're saying
Ah.
that they lied, they were lied to about what kind of scroll they got.
Essentially, if the target is willing, that doesn't mean that they know what they're doing to themselves, just that there's something implying on them.
They must have thought that's what was going to happen.
Do you think the scroll maybe was what caused the head explosion?
It's a possibility. I mean, if they all thought they were going to escape and read the scrolls and
Sure, a contingency or the scroll. Let's go with the scroll. Let's assume it's not just contingency, but it's the scroll. Would there have been a material component involved? Is this
Uh,
expensive, is what I'm asking.
you don't need to make a roll for this one. Looking at the mark right in the center, it definitely looks like it's not normal ink. It looks like it's some sort of magic-infused ink that also has some sort of ground-up mineral of some sort in it. It looks like the Eye of Solemn right in the center of the scroll was probably going to be the material component.
Okay. Ignoring the Eye of Solemn, if I was to craft something like this of its tier, maybe not its effects, but its tier of magic, what spell would I rate it as? Are we talking like low level, mid level, high level?
The
Can't be too
craftsmanship.
high or it would have hurt a lot of people instead of just blowing the guy's head off. It was very specific. It just blew his
Base
head off.
based on the quality, based on the quality, because you have been informed of the illusion, you can basically see through some of the deception. To an untrained eye, this would look like very high level magic, like 7th or 8th level. But looking in between the lines and being able to see what's fake and what isn't, this looks like it's probably at most a 3rd level spell.
I inform the party as such. This is not weak magic, but along the lines of, say, a fiery explosion. I think fireball is what the kids use on the streets these days. It is enough to show proficiency and knowledge, but this is no master who's made this. It's simply someone who has a education in magic.
Pretty odd for the god of magic for his plans, but also
I
not
wouldn't say
completely
so.
odd.
A decent, not low, not high quality spell that has a very specific function. Hire some expendables.
Hmm.
Why would they want them to die, though?
Why waste your
Maybe they
power on the
knew
expendables
something
as you?
that they didn't need to know.
They could have killed them when they activated it. It wasn't when they activated it, it was after they were captured. These
Mhm.
people were meant to fail.
Maybe they were promised a lot of money and
They're
don't need to pay
gullible and
dead
they're
pay them
people.
stupid.
off.
Yeah, agreed. But it's not a matter of income. They could have paid them what they requested with a degree of what was used to craft these scrolls. This isn't accidental, nor is this thrown away. This is the minimum requirement to do a very specific purpose.
Which they performed.
Exactly.
They were no longer needed after that.
They were needed after being questioned.
Because they needed to
They
be
were not
captured.
needed. They need to deliver a message.
I wonder, what if, and I don't like this thought, but I'm having a thought. I think it's unlikely, but it's not necessarily something we should discount entirely. It is possible Solemn himself gave me that vision so that they would get caught.
I thought as much, but yeah. Or he
Never
at least
knows.
directed your view to see something instead of something else.
Yes, because again, the circumstances were reversed. Even if if the actions were the same, the circumstances were reversed. That's weird. That's very weird to me.
The other thing that concerns me is what if it wasn't just manipulating you to see something, but to not see something? How do you blind a seer, make them look in the wrong place?
It's very possible. Maybe that's what that red light was for.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody else was trying to draw my attention back to the right place. We already know that the red light theoretically is associated with
Nile,
the
the god of
dominating magics
domination.
of
Yeah.
yeah. The god of domination is he's part of the pantheon, right?
Yes.
He is.
You have to remind me his name, Jorah. Sorry,
Nile.
Nile. Thank you. It's just like the river. Okay.
Yep.
This is sacrilegious and should not leave this conversation.
No, but
Gods
Nile.
have and can fall. What if someone's
Yes,
planning?
maybe, but Nile is actually also part of the pantheon. What if he, of all people, saw what was happening and tried to get my attention back?
You might be right, and maybe that's why it was unclear.
There's only,
We still don't have the pieces here. We're just
And-
speculating.
and it's possible we never will. I will say, as somebody who's been having visions for a long time in my life, they're never easy. Even once you understand them. By nature alone, they are difficult because they're not always set in stone. Therefore, sending someone a false vision that's also hazy isn't so hard to potentially fool them, as you pointed out, and I feel like a fool myself if that's the case. Still, even if it was Solemn who gave me the vision, it was a win-win for him. Either the assassination went off without a hitch, and he could work with that, or we stopped them and the message is still delivered. Either way, he potentially wins.
Hmm. But if it's the god of domination, something that should be considered, who and what is he controlling? Not just you, but instead of physically controlling, manipulating, maybe it was also a win-win for him.
Potentially. As far
Because
as
we
I
know
know,
he wants to
Nile doesn't.
control.
Not many churches to Nile here in Veer, as far as I know. I will see if, after we talk to Drugel and handle this fishing business, I will see if I can get a hold of my father again and see if I can at least illuminate him into seeing what he can find out about Nile. I wouldn't be doing my job as his son and a seer of the church if I didn't at least try. I could pray to him, but now I'm wondering and worried, if you pray to one god, do they all hear it or just the one? I've never thought about it before.
Well, if that's the case, then what can we do? Shouldn't expect
Or
an
they all have some
immediate
clerks
answer.
up there that are answering for them.
That too. That is also a hell of a lot of unsecurity, but you know, this entire thing is insecure at this point. At our current state, there's not much we could do. Have a big impact. Children of gods or not, or dukes or anything we are still no gods. And there are even mortals who are probably more powerful than us without any relation to any of the gods. And that's a scary thought, isn't it?
No.
Well,
So,
normally no, but in this instance, I would say yes, you little weasel bastard.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, Stefan. I'm already. Can't you see my fur is already falling off my body as is? I don't need this. Ugh.
Oh, I thought it was feathers.
Feathers? What do you think I'm a bird? I'm a tabaxi. If I was an Aarakocra, I would have flown away from this mess a long time ago.
so let's focus on the here and now. What can we do? Assuming no god answers us, and assuming that their attention is needed elsewhere, what can we do in our power to help?
We
We
still
go
follow the
fishing.
plan. Yeah, we still follow the plan. We need the shards. We need to at least, if we stick to our current plan, we need to separate one. If the gods decide they want to put them together and send somebody for experimentation's sake, that's not our problem. Our job still is we should still follow the plan for now. Until there's something that says that plan is also compromised and unsafe, I don't really know what else our choices are.
This definitely isn't a safe plan.
Can
If
I
it's
ask
safe,
you a
someone else
question,
would be doing
Pyre?
it.
Is
go ahead.
there a safe plan besides running away and hiding underground? Because I can't think of one. But I'm not as
Yeah.
smart as you.
Idea. Let's
Which is?
run away strategically and come back. We're in the spotlight, right?
Yeah,
Where can we
that's why we're
go?
fishing, isn't it?
That people. Yeah, let's do that. Now. We know where Drupal is. Joggle back.
Isn't that
See if he wants to
isn't
come
that-
with. And if he
See-
doesn't, then just do some manipulation.
Secret's gonna
Have
cross
one of
his
us
arms and said,
catch it
"Isn't that
instead."
literally what I just said we were gonna do?"
Well, now it's my idea.
No, it's not. I don't care how
Yeah, it
tall
is.
you are. That is not how this works. Just because you're bigger than me does not mean you can just steal my ideas. Is this what
I didn't
innovation
steal. I
is?
acquired.
Oh. This is what innovation is. Stealing other people's ideas and claiming them as your own?
Who
Good
the hell do you
grief.
think you are, Thomas Edison?
Thank you.
Ah.
Yeah, thanks.
What do you think Father does?
I'm Nikola Tesla. You're Thomas Edison. I see how this works.
Yeah, of course. Why shouldn't the strong take from the weak?
Because I'm not weak. Just because I'm not a warrior.
Well, you've already said I've taken it. That means it's mine.
I'm going to.
He is
smu-
absolutely grinning at this point.
I am going to. Listen, I have had a hell of a few days, and I am not afraid to, we'll
Secret,
say,
Catch some fish?
secret.
put a
If you
pillow
really
over
wanna
your
get
face
him,
while
just
you're
call his
sleeping.
little girlfriend over. She'll get him in line.
Yeah, sure. After we go fishing, we can go bring her a present and say it's the wedding gift. That'll go well.
There is one thing I don't understand.
Why
Why the
gnome?
bug? No,
Oh.
why the bug?
Gonna look over at Quellkick. Why not? Has he not proven valuable?
He's proven a pacifist.
A pacifist with eyes and range and a very useful ability I haven't told you about. Not openly.
Hmm.
I'll tap
I've
my
been
head.
surprised by gnomes. I guess a savage isn't that different. No, I'm not talking about regional savagery. I'm talking about cultural.
In Quellkick's head, he'll just probably have to hear Secret's voice say, "I apologize. I swear he's actually a good friend of mine. He's just an idiot. He doesn't know better. His father raised him this way."
I'm just gonna remain silent, just watching.
Well,
Father-
if that's your idea, let's go get him. Go get him. Oh, and unless you want to pray to your father?
No. In fact, as I said, I want to speak to Father in person first. Now I want to ask him how that works. Because the book, his good book, doesn't talk about how prayers work, now that I think about it.
You want to know?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Sure,
I
tell me while
speak
we go
to
get
my
Drupal.
father. The
Let's
basis
get
is
him.
if you say a deity's name, it catches their attention. Think of
Yes.
it as a fire in the night.
I'm aware
But-
of that.
Let's
they
just
can
get a
choose
pony
whether or
kid
not-
and go fishing.
Ugh. My point being, the only thing I'm worried about is if other gods are listening to the prayers of other children of their
can.
faiths.
Fire is easily seen, but not as easily seen as the one it's directed towards.
Maybe, but hey, Droogle,
We're at
Red
the wagon,
Man.
DM.
You see,
Yeah.
so you call out Droogle. Droogle's currently sitting on the wagon. They're all pretty much getting ready to leave. And you see him turn his head back and goes, "Nah, what do you want?"
How long until this job of yours is finished?
So it's probably gonna be another hour or so. Why do you ask?
Mm.
Wanna
Is-
go fishing?
Yeah, you want to go fishing?
If you want to join the night job, then you should probably wait until nighttime. I'm on the overnight cruise to catch the exotic glowing fishes. And that's only if you're
Oh.
interested. I do hear they've got some availabilities this night. Or maybe I
You
should
wouldn't
say,
turn down
maybe
the
I should
services
say,
of a healer, would you?
maybe I should
That
say,
makes
yeah,
sense.
we'll say this night. We'll say this night instead of following nights.
Really quietly, so only the party can hear him and say, that actually makes the vision make much more sense. Exotic glowing fishes. Yes, I think we would be interested. It's a nice distraction from all of the hubbub that's been going on today.
Yeah,
Who's
Fire's
your
breaking.
manager?
Fires breaking out in town hall and whatnot. All sorts of chaos. I even hear some of the games have been cancelled. My manager happens to hail from the House of Veer. I forget who he is. It's not
If he's from the House of Veer, I'll find him.
Alright. So what, should I let my superior know that you're planning on coming along? Or are you gonna get that sorted yourself?
You can let him know, but I will also get that sorted. Let him know that 2 demigods and two well-to-dos on top of that. Oh, there's no reason to surprise
Don't
them.
oversell us.
No, do oversell us. Make sure they know I'm very handsome. Might as well.
Emphasize the handsomeness.
Yes. And the
All right.
wit and the charm.
A tabaxi with
I've
an
been learning a lot from
ego-matching
Stefan, you
Cercava.
know.
A tabaxi with an ego-matching Cercava wishes passage on your ship to go fishing.
I am calm and collected and do not have an ego. Thank you very much.
Whatever you say, Your
Okay.
Majesty.
That's better. We'll see you tonight.
Alright. Sounds good. And he waves back at you. I forgot to add this into the recap, but Darren Stormwright also mentioned that he wanted to speak with some of the nobles, see if he can work something out.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then we said, yeah, you should probably talk to Veer and Glenda. I keep wanting to call her Glenda. What the heck is her actual name?
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn. I was so close. I wasn't close, but I was so close. How come I can remember it was a purple light, but I can't remember an essential NPC's name? I hate this.
To be fair, I don't remember what the light was either. It's been a
You know,
while.
it comes with age. It's called senility.
Oh, thanks. If I need help, I'll be sure to know where to get my wisdom from, John. Thank you. Okay. Sorry, that was mean to me. Yeah, okay. Let me talk to Veer. Because I have to go that way anyways.
Alright.
I suggest you do not come with me. I think I remember telling him, I suggest you don't come with me right away until I tell you when and where. Because if you walk into that room now, somebody will kill you. It won't be me, but somebody will. And I'm not going to be able to stop that.
Alright. We can probably just boil this down. So you decide you want to try to set up a meeting with Nathaniel Veer and Darren Stormwright in some secluded area.
Well, and
right?
Gwendolyn, Gwendolyn, I trust her too. Because I know, at the very least, I know she's not stupid. And she knows the importance of making deals with the enemy. So I feel like she wouldn't do anything in that room.
Okay. Alright.
But I still need to talk to him. If you want to hand wave that part, I still want to talk to Nathan anyways about why I want to get on that ship, because I've told him about the vision, and now that I know why, I'm going to tell him we're going to try to escalate the timetable for this for obvious reasons.
Alright.
And now we know why he would be catching glowing fish.
Alright. He asks if you want him to personally, like, do anything, like, put you on the ship personally,
I just want to make
not do anything.
the personal thing I want is whatever you need to do. I want to be on the same shipping, the same physical ship vessel as Drugel.
Don't worry.
It needs to be on his ship, not some other part of that fleet.
Drugel, he's a hobgoblin, right? Newly hired?
Red, you cannot miss him.
No, I didn't. I remember paying his bail. More so because Cercava asked me to.
I'm telling you, between Father doing that and the visions I've had of him, he potentially could help this mission more than you realize. As I told you about the previous vision. Just That's why I want to be on his boat. I figure the more I help Fate connect the dots on their own, the more I can make things happen on an escalated timetable.
Just be a bit careful out at sea. There have been reports of some fishing vessels disappearing at night. We're uncertain
Now
if
you
it's
tell me.
simply it's it's something that I didn't want getting out, but it's possible that there may be either night pirates or some other monster or something sinister out there. We're still
Well,
doing
then
investigations.
Then whatever ship you put us on with him is likely going to be the safest ship in the night. Because between the four of us, or between all of us, we're probably going to be the most skilled combatants on that ship, especially if it's pirates. And besides,
Well,
Sir Kava's son will be on there. Luck will be on their side.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this is simply a pirate problem and not something more sinister. But who knows?
Will you talk to Gwendolyn on my behalf and set up this meeting? I think you two are the only two I can trust with that man to not kill him outright. And I think whatever you work with him, I'm sure it'll be for the better of this investigation. He'll have every reason to tell the truth to the two of you.
Don't worry. I'll see to it that it's done. Well, and I do wish you luck on your voyage. Hopefully, we can all make it out of this whole ordeal in one piece.
Luck on our side, we'll be the richest man at sea.
I'm looking forward to it. Unless you have
If I
anything
find
else.
any diamonds, I'll let you know. But they're mine if I do.
Hey now, you're officially working for the House of Veer, so I'm going to be taking my cut. I'll have you know.
Then never mind, I'm not going to tell you anything. I only found fish and only fish. Unless you want to personally come with. Then check on me, supervisor.
I'll be sure to make
Lord supervisor.
I'll be sure to make the written note of a vocal confession, and I'm sure the courts are going to take my word over yours.
No, that's just rude. I have my own powers, you know. Maybe just not legal ones.
But he waves. He gives a dismissive wave, and as he smiles and laughs to himself. But on a serious note, I do wish you luck to find any of the shards that you are looking for.
There's one other thing. I don't know if you can do it. So any way you can get us on that ship without the other houses knowing. I'm pretty sure we're being watched. We were being tailed by one of Gwendolyn's minions, which is not surprising given who she is and given which one was following us. It's Ash's friend. But I think he was being tailed by one of Leona's minions. One of her, I believe they call them Justicars, Templars, something along those lines.
In Lumen's case, they would be Inquisitors.
Thank you, Inquisitors, yes. It seemed like they were following Plague Doctor, not us, but they just might have known where Plague Doctor was going.
I see.
So if we could get on there quietly, that would be nice.
I suppose. Yes, I can see that arranged. I do have a meeting with a few of the captains later tonight to get the plans straight, as well as get the warnings out.
Perfect. Then we will report at our assigned time, and we will just happen to be on Drugel's ship when we get our assignment. I need the money.
Okay.
Winks.
Yes, I'm sure you do. And he he immediately begins. He pulls out a piece of paper and he does begin writing some notes to himself, and he bids you a good day, basically.
Sure. Have a good day. I'll go gather the others.
All right.
We're going for a night fishing, huh?
Night fishing. I hope. Do we have enough time that perhaps maybe some of us should maybe nap so we don't have any problems overnight?
Yeah, it's probably sometime around the afternoon. They're probably going to be departing at sometime around 10 or 11 or something like that. So yes,
yeah,
you can take a long rest.
So yeah, Secret's gonna suggest that everybody take a nap, take a sleep, whatever you need to do. We need to be up all night.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. After paying a certain orc a visit and letting her know, hey, and just in case you're looking for me, I won't be around tonight, but I'll see if I can make it up to you later this week.
Yeah, she says that sounds good.
Okay.
I'll be looking forward to it, and I'll be looking forward to seeing your performance in the tournaments that you've been entered in.
Well, in the meantime, if you need me, I'm going to be practicing being a vampire. And I'll wink at her. That means I'm going to sleep. Don't ask.
I see. When you said
Hey, I have these
vampire, I was
fangs.
thinking of something. I was thinking of something else, but I suppose.
Would it help if you came into my office in the church and I was sleeping in the coffin? Would that seal the deal?
No, I've been through Rosenthia, and I think I've seen my fair share of coffins. I am not particularly interested in seeing more.
Then I'll sleep in a normal bed if it's okay with you.
All right.
Alone, painfully alone, he says as he starts walking off and like putting a hand over his head, like being dramatic.
Oh, woe is me.
But yeah,
Okay.
I'm going back to actually fucking sleep.
All right. If any of you also wanted to do something really quick before you head out, you can feel free to do so now.
All right.
How much time is there? And what time of what
You
part of the day would this be passing over?
if you wanted to do your thing with Marius, you could do it during this long rest.
I was about to say that's kind of what I want to get done right now. I want to see if I can get into contact with them and at least start the process, if nothing else. I'm seeing that there are a few things that may be needed in the coming times that I didn't really need before, so.
Yes. We'll mostly hand wave the process. You will have the initial perks that Marius will give you.
Okay, so all the way up to the sneak peek ones?
Yeah, just before the sneak peek ones, yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
If you want to pull those back at any time, just let me know. That'll be my assumption for right now.
Okay.
All right. So I'm
Very quickly, I will let Secret know that just a quick note that I will be out for this evening and to keep watch, but I will return in the morning.
All right. On a related side note, you've before Monica and Stefan had been sleeping in different rooms, but lately you've noticed that they've been sleeping in the same room. It's got 2 beds, but it's definitely something a little unusual, at least from the few days that you've seen them both together.
Are you talking to me?
All of you. It's something that
Oh.
all of you notice. Well, actually, Quelkek probably wouldn't notice that because he's literally gone. But the
I
Yeah.
others
apologize.
who-
I had to
Yeah.
get up for a second. What am I noticing? I apologize.
Monica and Stefan were staying in different rooms, but now they're staying in the same room. It's got 2 beds, granted, so
Right.
they're not sleeping in the same bed, but it's definitely
Maybe.
something different.
Not my business, or the secret would say not his business. So
Oh, it
Secret
is
ain't gonna ask
absolutely my business. This is an average tavern, right?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I'd
Actually,
be
this is the
sleeping in
church.
my
This
own-
is the church.
We're in the
Because you
church
guys
now.
have been-
Okay, okay.
Yeah. You guys have been lodging in the church, I believe. That's what Secret wanted.
yeah, or at the very least, Secret does. I'm sure he could get you that.
Okay. For now, I'll let it slide. I will bring it up if we ever get into a more questionable environment.
Hey, in Sarkava's church, sex would probably be a form of worship, okay?
Hey,
I
it's
mean,
lucky.
I'd want to
It's
know when
called
the
getting
baby's
lucky
coming.
for a reason, you know. You don't have to be charismatic. You just have to be really, really good at dice games.
Safe word is slots. Okay, so
There's
moving
no
on.
safe word in this church.
There is stuff I wanted to do with Pyre. It's pretty simple stuff. First of all, I believe I can swap infusions because we're doing a rest.
Yep.
So instead of an armor of magical strength, I would like a bag of holding. And I would like to spend the little bit of spare time I have between resting and recovering spell slots to make some sort of flares. Essentially, either something I can shoot out and cast a area of light, since we're going up against things that probably don't like light or are attracted to light, either or is advantageous. Or I would like to just improve the fog lights on the ship.
Okay. There are plants that are related to Lumen, the god of light himself, and they do repel ghosts. So I'm assuming you probably want something like that, right? Not literal fire, but something with dealing with ghosts, basically.
Well, it's not so much ghost. It's just how do I put it? The most dangerous part of being on a ship is not seeing where you're going. So I want to improve the vision of the ship, either in a dangerous area I can throw out a flare and it lights up the night for like 5 rounds or something, or something where I can attach some fog lights to the front of the ship so it can see through the darkness and the mist a little bit better.
Okay.
But yeah, Lumen would definitely be involved.
Continual light spell, continual flame, doesn't burn anything you don't want it to. Put it on a little
Have
dish.
to know the spell to cast it.
Well,
So,
yeah, you have to do that.
I'm just gonna have
Even like a wind
Doesn't
spell
happen
would
to be
work.
one in my repertoire right now.
Either something that's anti-fog or something that's pro-light. Either would be interesting to me. I don't know how much time I have to work with this.
since
It's not
Ash and
much.
Zorg, since
If
Ash
you
and Zorg are
ask
gonna be.
about it, I'll see what I can do.
I mean, that's an option too. I was gonna go with Ash, but if Stefan wants to help out with this, you can do that.
Stefan, I'm trying to
Alright.
think about what would make you be inclined for this. I know that you're a mage, know that you can fly. I mentioned that I'm going to be working on lights, and then I asked you for ideas on how to limit the chances of being in a deadly fog at night. Obscuring mist type of situation.
I mean, Lumen does have a spell called what is it? Revealing light. Does Monica know?
Yeah,
continual
basically
flames?
what the. Yeah, but Stefan's the closest thing I have to a worshiper of Lumen.
Which one of these fumble around on my little chain and say, which one is that now?
That.
It
I'm
is
joking,
this
you
symbol.
smile.
Hold on.
It doesn't matter.
It is this symbol, the symbol of Lumen. And let me just see the continual flame. I think
Oh,
Oh,
it's an eyeball! Oh my gosh!
no, it's
I
moons.
thought it was a wave!
No, it's moons. The big crescent moon. The moon.
Yeah,
I,
multiple
yeah, I see
eyeballs.
moons.
Yeah,
I
they're
see
I
an
see
moons.
anime
eyeballs. Like
eyeball.
there's the round iris with the pupil in the middle and the
I
like
see
eyelid around it.
Krillin's eye. What the fuck?
Now I can't
Crazy.
unsee it. Now I can't
It
unsee
could
it.
also be a telescope. There are so many things.
Now it's a moon inside of a sun inside of a moon inside of a sun. They're all eclipsing each other. At least
Yeah.
that's the intention.
Well,
Okay, I got that one at first too, but I was like, whoa, whoa, trippy.
Yep,
All right,
moving.
so Stefan, how would you assist Pyre
I'll
if you
cut
even
and check
decided
on
to?
this. I'll need to talk to somebody. I believe we can do it, but I'll have to check.
Well, I have access to the runes and such. I
Yeah,
I don't understand the theology as much.
It's just the idea of casting something called a continual fire, and if you put it like on a plate at the front, it'll, can cast light out there for as long as you want. It can't be put out by water and stuff. It's a
All right,
magical
so
flame.
take the concept of a bullseye lantern, put a continual flame in there, and make it more directed and focused.
If
Maybe
that's what
enhance it
you
with
wish,
luminous runes.
we can cast it inside of a bullseye or a lantern. That's fine.
All right.
I'll let you know after the rest, if it's possible. I think it is.
No, I need it before the rest, not after.
Well, then let's go back to where, at an inn or we're at the church, right?
Yeah, you're at the church.
Well, let me check back I'll be right back. You
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the
just
lift down the
see
hall
if you
to the
can
room,
get a
and,
representative of Lumen.
and
Use
I,
your contacts, and maybe you
yeah.
can share some ideas. I'll be over here in this area, and we can meet up then.
and I'll talk to my associate, and we'll find a nice metal plate here and have her cast it, and I'll just rush back out and hand it to Secret and say, yeah, here you go.
What is this?
It's a continual flame. Keep the light out.
Useful.
It's supposed to go in the front of the boat, according to Byron. And I just leave. Go back to the room.
Fire, meanwhile, is just like waiting for you to come to it.
You're standing outside. I run to Secret first. I hand it to him.
Just gonna stare at this.
One of these would-be gods is the same as another to me.
Secret's just like, I didn't ask for a continual flame. Pyre? Gonna go to his room.
You'll figure out where Pyre is. I'll give you that much. I'm not going to make you search for Pyre. We'll say it's at the Temple's Forge. You ask around to figure out where he is.
Did you ask for this?
Oh,
Stefan?
yeah. Yeah, he never showed up.
Yeah, he did. To me. Without telling
Is
me
he
why.
making you his messenger boy?
Probably. Something about putting this at the front of the ship.
The only thing I like about Stefan is that he's reliably mysterious. In the best of ways. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just
There's
saying,
other things to like, but that's the thing I admire the most about him.
I can't think of a one-liner. Do you want this?
Yeah, I want it. One or two of them.
Here,
One.
just
You said wait, you wanted one.
yeah. This is all I got.
Well, it's enough to work with. Thank you. Did he say how much it cost him?
No.
Oh. Well, I
So,
guess I shouldn't be upset with only getting one then.
but whatever you owe him, you can give to me instead for being his messenger.
I never told
I'll
you
make
what I
sure
owed him.
it reliably gets to him.
You doing the wink wink type of thing? Give me a bribe?
I wasn't gonna wink at you. I was kind of hoping you would already figure out the
Our
comments
character
and the context.
is this an innuendo? Are you doing the? Are you going to bribe me for being a good
it's
messenger?
very obvious. Secret is being as dry and as sarcastic and annoyed as possible.
Great. I will tip you like a whore. I will give you 100 gold. Should cover the
Fuck it,
expenses.
maybe. Just gonna say, yeah, I'll make sure he gets that.
Actually, DM, how much gold is gold worth? Components versus actual setting?
How much? What's so? Wait, run the question.
Normal
by me again?
D&D gold to Veer gold. What is the conversion rate?
I mean, it's very inflated over here in Veer. So I'd probably say you
Spell
offered 100,
components
right?
specifically. I
Spell
offered
components?
100. Typically, it costs 50 gold in regular D&D gold.
It's probably it'll be anywhere from 2 times to 5 times the price. So
Okay. I'm just going to give him 500 gold. So just whoops, loop. It goes from 100 to 500, and there you go. You got 500 gold.
Yeah, I'll make sure he gets it all.
Yeah, and secret, he says as you start to move. Don't spend it all in one place. He'll flip you a gold piece.
Thanks. I will invest this in my child's future.
Retirement fund.
Only
Put
one?
in your 401k.
Sirkava would be disappointed.
Only one that I know of. Perhaps I don't want to know. That way I can be a deadbeat, guilt-free.
I guess that's one way to live, by luck and surprise.
Hey, listen, if my dad... I've only met my dad for the first time in my 20s.
Did you meet him by just asking random people if they're your father?
No, he came to me.
Oh, cool.
The good book always said I would probably just never meet him. I just accepted that.
Yeah.
After all, most of my siblings have never met him.
That's why I don't get. You meet him once and then you think you're on a first-term relationship where you can just call his attention whenever you have questions? Like, I don't understand.
Well, first of all, if I want to talk to somebody, I will talk to somebody whether they want to talk to me or not. Second of all, considering how important this mission is, I will be a pain in his ass until I get the answer I need.
Diligent. Return and report. Okay, I see what you mean.
Pyre, you should know me better by now. If there's anything I am, it's persistent.
He kind of narrows his eyes at you, considering you for a moment. Clearly not sure if he believes you or not. And then nods his head and he says, fair enough. I asked. He gave an answer.
For all I know, I could have 20 kids.
20 times? No, don't tell me.
I can go into real detail if you want.
We're going to keep this professional. I don't need a recounting.
You don't seem the type. I'm going to look around and say, do you even know where babies come from?
Yeah. Women. It's why we have them.
I was going to set you up to say you don't know women because of you're stuck in books, but then I forgot you're your father's son. Forgive me for making that joke.
He's active. He's just not as active as your father.
Just make sure you don't be a virgin forever. I'd hate to see the wasted potential.
My activity there is my own choice.
That pause made it sound like it wasn't your own choice. You have
All
a
right,
good
let's
night, Pyre.
no. You're not walking away on that note.
No, what do you
What?
mean?
Why do you think it's a good idea to sire children, and I don't understand the consequences of having children?
It's not about the siring, it's about the fun before that.
Oh, you're just talking about. I don't. You're just hedonistic. That's all this is. You don't care about the effects. You just care about the experience.
Well, I am quite hedonistic. I'm glad you're only just, tuning in now, but of course I care about the effects. If someone came up and was able to prove it to me who they were, and it was legitimate, I would take care of my action. That sounds like assassination. I would make sure they were taken care of. Nope, that still sounds like assassination. You get what I
You
mean.
do know that you can't pass along god marks, right?
I know. But there's other ways to know. Unlike my
What,
father,
the same
I
fur
don't.
pattern?
Well, unlike my father, I can't shapeshift. All of my kids are going to have to be at least somewhat tabaxi-like.
Okay,
Sure,
well,
they
fair,
pick.
but
Sure, there's not that many half-breeds in the same sense that half-elf exists, but there's still signs.
all right. So your plan is just seek out half tabaxis and see if one of them calls you daddy.
No, my plan isn't to seek them out at all. My plan is just if they come up to me, that's fine. I'm not looking to make more work for myself. All I'm saying is when I'm ready to settle down, I have someone in mind.
I know exactly how to destroy you, and I'm not sure if I want to use it or not.
I know how to destroy you too, you know.
No, not physically, just
Oh, see, I was just gonna have you killed. That is,
I need to buy
The ultimate-
orphans. I need to buy more orphans. He nods.
you are not going to fool me
Tabaxi
by
orphans.
raising tabaxi orphans. Also, you can't just buy orphans. That's kind of weird, you fucking weirdo.
I can buy the orphanage.
Oh my god.
Where do you think they're going to live?
All right, listen. Well, you're too busy using books and getting to know your right hand. I'm going to bed for the trip tonight.
That why it's stronger than the left? And he
I'm left-
just watches as you walk out.
I'm left-handed,
say
you
what you want.
doofus.
Confused demigod noises. That's what you get.
I get to walk away on that note, but not
And
the
you
other
think,
note.
and you think
Jesus.
about it, I caused that because I gave it to the one other god. Because I
Because
don't care
Stefan's-
which one it is. I figure it'll get to the
Yeah.
other one.
Stefan's idea of, they're kind of the same. They must be linked somehow. Kind of worked in this case.
Oh my
I know
gosh.
that-
Great big discussion.
It's like you just gave him the birds and the bees, but in the way he didn't expect. Ah,
Like, yes, I know where kids come from, but that's not the point. You're supposed to have fun. It's just like, that's what his
and
character
he's
is.
like, children are a resource. It's never been different.
You can't buy orphans. I can buy the orphanage. Jesus Christ, Pyre is a scary character.
Hey, actually, there's places in this kingdom you can buy children.
Oh my god, I'm sure Veer is one of them.
Slavery. Slavery
Would you
literally
prefer
exists
to
here. Yep.
buy children, or would you prefer to have Ash buy children?
No, you don't want Ash to buy them.
I-
because he'll
you-
eat
yeah,
their
you know what?
fingers first. How are you going
Oh,
to get work out of them then?
You actually bring up a really good point, and I hate that you just brought up a good point with that. Holy shit.
Don't ever suggest that while Ash is in chat. Just please. Horrible things will happen, and it's not even the player's fault.
Damn, Zoid, you've been busy. I see you over there. Is this how the birds and the bees work for Threekin? Because I have a question. Why the fuck does Quelkek only have 2 arms in this picture?
Now, for those who happen to be listening, please describe for posterity's sake on YouTube what is being seen.
Oh, how the hell do I describe this? The picture of 2 bees. I guess it's a wasp and a bee?
For YouTube, don't worry, this is an actual thing that I can post. I just need to remember the...
Oh, you don't
Precise.
actually. I think they changed the command. I don't think you actually need the
They did.
the command anymore.
Yeah, well, I did the
you
command
got
and
it.
it worked. I did the command and it worked.
There's Quelkek, and there's the female Thrycreen.
To be fair, Quelkek is a handsome man as far as
Right,
we
green goes.
know.
Is it bad I thought the fuzzy one was Quelkek before I read the labels?
To be fair, they both could be Quelkek for all we know. That'd be really weird, actually. Maybe they shouldn't be.
Let's get
I
out
take
the
that back.
mind. Yeah, let's move on. So, awkward note. Pyre staring at the ceiling, questioning every life decision. And we're in the church. We're going to have that discussion on the boat. This is what we've come down to.
Hey, listen, we need to do something while we're fucking fishing, right?
Indeed.
Gonna be
indeed.
innuendos the entire session.
So
Alright,
we will get a long rest before this, right? So I can hit my long rest button.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, you can.
The
So,
long rest button
Pyre.
that did nothing cool.
Yeah, that's what the original one does. I don't know how it's
Alright,
supposed to
so
work
the
or if I'm
basic-
supposed to set it up.
The main thing, Jorah, is I would like to make a bullseye lantern that uses the continual eternal flame, and then I reinforce it using my father and the God of Light Lumen's runes. I wasn't going to use Zygon's rune, but because it's literally internal fire, why not?
Okay.
It's light meets innovation.
I forget if RuneScar gave you a whole bunch of runes to work with, but he'd probably allow you to experiment.
I can
over
definitely
there.
go to RuneScar. I can go to
Yeah.
RuneScar.
He'll let you experiment with them. You also bump into Ash, and he does ask you what you're doing, as you see him with a bunch of alchemical ingredients in his arms.
What is family?
Okay. Stefan, what was it cast on? Was it a wick? Was it a candle? Was it like
it's
a
on
coin?
a little metal plate, like an ashtray type of plate.
I'm going to pick up that ashtray.
It's,
I-
it's just,
the-
you know, that's what I'm describing it as resembling. It isn't really an ashtray because they didn't.
The
make
semblance
ashtrays then.
is not lost on me. Pick up the ashtray, stick it in my mouth. Good. And I'll hand him a piece of metal, just a random scrap piece of metal.
And okay, so you actually do put the thing that's emitting light. in
I
your
take
mouth.
the flaming piece of metal and stick it into my mouth, and then hand him a non-flaming piece of metal.
You want to establish that Ash is dumb, so he
No,
takes
no,
the piece of metal.
Ash isn't necessarily dumb. I'm just trying to confuse him.
Yeah, you will easily confuse him. I'm just saying that the player said he wanted to portray him as dumb. So
That is
I'm
fair.
moving
Let's lean
forwards
into
with
it then.
that. I'm moving forwards with the assumption that he wants Ash to be dumb. So Ash takes the piece of metal and he puts it in his mouth too. And he says,
Great.
doesn't taste so fiery to me, but I do know something to make it a little bit brighter. And he's awkwardly moves the whole bunch of alchemical ingredients in flowers onto one of his other arms. you see him reach into the big pile as he's looking up into the sky, trying to grab a particular flower, and he pulls one up. He says, "I mean, it won't set it on fire, but this one will definitely help make things shine with bright light. It's called a starshine flower. It's from Saluna."
Let's rub it in. Come on, metal's good for the scales. I'll like pat him on the shoulder and just keep walking.
"I see. Well, I mean, it's not gonna taste like fire though, so maybe I should use a different one. Oh, this one emits a ton of fire. It's a lava burst." And he starts walking away as you
Mixed with ghost
say that.
peppers.
I'm increasing my speed and hoping I am not present when the civilians get just annihilated by vomiting the lava lizard man. Around the corner, I'll take it out of my mouth and pocket it. Never swallowed that thing.
All right.
That is a flame, an active flame.
An eternal flame, which means it's not hot. It just appears to be fire.
Yep. Continual flames
Unless-
are not actual fires that have heat or use oxygen.
Well, it can be. It can
They
be
can.
made and thrown.
It can be, but I would prefer to be told before I pick it up that it is hot and fiery.
Well, it's not hot and fiery, but if you handle it properly, it doesn't burn you.
Okay.
I mean, you
Okay,
don't really
Jorah?
want to put it in your underwear.
I have resistance to fire. Tell me how much damage I took if there's fire damage. Otherwise, this is not maintained for a long time.
No, it's no
Eh,
problem.
I'd say it's probably wouldn't, like, you might feel, if Stefan wanted there to be some fire qualities to it, then it probably has some warmth to it, but not enough
Yeah.
to burn
It's not
you.
going to burn you unless you.
It's fine. It's
pretty
fine. I
stable
can
unless
literally
you
breathe
throw it.
fire. It'll be fine.
It's pretty stable unless you throw it. Let's put it that way.
Let's not throw it. Let's not witness what Ash just got up to. Please, man. I don't want to go to jail.
All
This
right.
isn't necessarily a fire. Necessarily.
So, you basically will make either a smithing tools check or tinkering tools check if you have that. If you don't, then you'll be making an arcana check to see how well you can
Okay.
make this thing.
What stat would you like me to add to smithing?
Your primary spellcasting stat, which is probably intelligence.
Yes. Ironically, that's the same as the Arcana. I have Tinker's Tools, Smithing Tools, Leatherworking, Arcana. I don't think Leatherworking applies. Just do Smithing Tools. Bloop.
Oof.
I didn't do it in time. I can't use Inspiration.
I mean, you can use inspiration, you just need to make another roll if you want.
Inspiration reroll. Let's do it. I have a reason to do this. Come on, don't
Because
do
you
this
roll
to
a
me.
finishing roll, yeah.
Well,
Oof.
8.
10. Okay. Well, a good thing is that most of the work has been done for you. You've got the light source, a stable light source that isn't going to go out. So you just with a little bit of, if you let her help you, the female gnome does give you a few pointers and tell you that
I will let her help me. I need to be efficient. I am learning from her. I have not broken my word with that.
Okay, so she says that the light source, it is about as strong as a torch, but you can focus its little magical light, similar to the bullseye lantern was what you wanted to make, right? Or was it something else?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, she tells you that you just need to worry about the shape, not so much like anything related to the light source itself. Just focus on focusing the light in one direct spot. And she does give you some efficient designs. She tells you how to use some glass mirrors and stuff to help focus the light into one point, and you do manage to make a bullseye lantern. Because most of what you needed to do was pretty much just shape the vessel, basically.
I'm teaching you to line the inside of it with mirrors, which is a very good trick.
Yeah, yeah. I know how to weaponize mirrors. Surely just putting it in front of a ship will be fine. We got this, DM.
Yeah.
We got this. I didn't just strap a bomb to the front of the ship.
Just focus it a little bit and laser them out.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's Pyre's actions for today.
All right. And anyone else? Okay. Secret, you do have a dream. You
Oh,
dream of
boy.
being out at sea at night, and you see some ghosts fly by the ship, and one of the ghosts picks up Droogle and carries him off. And then you see ghosts beginning to converge on your location as well, about to grab you and carry you off, and then you wake up.
What are the chances, because I deal with these kind of visions, what are the chances this is just a normal ass dream versus an actual vision?
Because
Because usually I can tell the difference, right?
Generally speaking, you do go through a process. When you wake up in the morning, after you have a nightmare or a dream, you've been told to basically flip a coin. If it lands heads, then it's more than likely about 95% of the time a vision, and if it lands tails, it's more than likely not a vision. You flip your
So
coin,
I'll flip the
and it's
coin.
heads.
All right. How long do we have before we're supposed to set off after waking up?
We slept during the
lit-
day, so it's the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so probably around half an hour.
Okay, I'm gonna gather the others while we're having our quote-unquote breakfast.
What
I'll
I
say-
Currently, go ahead.
Yes, you would be back around this time. Your long rest would be over, and you'd make it back.
I have a question. Would I know where they're going?
Yeah, you were with us when we had the discussion.
I know, but like locally, would I know where the location of the fishing spot is?
Down at the docks.
Yeah, you probably would have general information about where the docks are. You've probably been around the town a little bit just to get to know the area and find people to heal and search out people to help. So you probably do have a general idea of the town layout.
Well, yes, Stefan is. Yes, the docks are there, but I'm saying if there was a specific location or something. But I want to head there early. I want to just do a little bit of. I'm already in the city, and doing whatever he has me doing. So if that somehow leads me just in the middle of the city, and I feel that there's really no reason to simply go back right now, I'll just head to the docks. I won't shadow Secret this morning. I want to do a little bit of preemptive scouting.
Well, it's less this morning and more the other way around.
It's evening.
Oh, it's evening?
Yeah, because we're doing an overnight trip, remember? It's an overnight fish.
Oh. Okay.
You
So
do head
we're
out.
gonna gather in the dining hall. Or
Yeah.
where?
Yeah. While we're eating breakfast, I'm gonna gather everybody.
It's not breakfast.
Well,
Well, dinner or
we
late
just
dinner.
slept
Whatever.
for a long time. It's breakfast. We break fast.
Well,
But during fine during the meal, I will say I had a vision, and I'm not sure how to interpret it. I'm not sure which one of you has brought this upon me or our fate, But perhaps it is a good thing we've decided to go fishing tonight. Or it could be a terrible thing. Ghosts. I had a vision about ghosts attacking our ship. First they dragged off Drugel, then they were coming for the rest of us.
Well, we could pool our money and see if we can get something to prevent ghost interference with Drugel. Maybe for the rest of us. I think the issue is that those... No, that would take too long.
I would point out ghosts that are able to grab people so brazenly. I do have my, as all good men and women of the cloth have, I can channel my divinity instead of for my father's blessing, for the generic blessing of trying to turn away the undead. But if they're just so brazenly grabbing people, I'm not 100% sure they're that weak of undead.
Look, ghosts are not my domain. Frankly, I don't know much about them.
What do I know about ghosts in this universe? Is that arcane? Is that religion?
Sorry, I was busy typing to someone. What's the question again?
What would I know about ghosts? Is that like arcane? Is that religion?
Could be religion.
If you're trying to look at it in relation to the goddess of death and such like that, that's religion. But if not,
Because
arcana
I
is just
just-
general knowledge.
Yeah, because I just realized something. This is a setting where people are like, according to you, or at least according to what Secret knows, that people are supposed to reincarnate usually typically within 2 years of death. How the hell could there be a ghost?
I mean, if just like D&D ghosts, they die with unfinished business, they could still linger. And Rosenthia is also a place that happens to have undead, similar to ghosts. Some ghosts and other such things there as well. You could say it's partially haunted. It's partially haunted.
Do those ghosts typically, does their existence usually hinder the reincarnation process for said soul, or is the ghost separate from the soul in that case?
Make your Arcana check.
Arcana. Damn, I was kind of hoping it would be religion for the soul, but I will try.
Actually, you know what? I'll allow you to use religion for that, based on the nature of your
Okay.
question.
Here we go. +1, baby. 14. I'll take that. That's not terrible.
Actually, it's a 14. So, I'd say if they are ghosts and they aren't directly pulled back up into the stars, then it could take them longer than usual to reincarnate while they're still on this mortal plane of existence. They would still technically have a corporeal form, because souls are still indestructible. But yes.
So the presence of becoming a ghost could actually stunt your reincarnation process.
In a sense, yes, but most of the time it's because you want to stay alive due to some powerful feeling like regret or anger or vengeance, stuff like that, just like a wight.
Okay. I'll say, usually if someone's a ghost, it stalls the reincarnation process. Most people become ghosts by usually dying with strong feelings. 99% of the time, it's some sort of anger or regret, any unfinished business from that feeling. But it has to be so strong that their soul refuses to reincarnate.
I should tell you, when I show up for the group meeting, I come out arm in arm with Monica, and we're carrying a picnic basket and a bottle of wine, and giggling, smiling.
The hell are you two been up to? Besides ghosts.
Well, who cares about ghosts? We're down to go out and have a good time on this midnight cruise.
Stefan, are
to
you
get
feeling
lucky?
okay?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Why would
I've
you
been-
get lucky with mom? Well, I guess
And she says,
I
I've been
mean,
looking
if he wants
forward
to
to
have a
seeing.
noble child,
there. Listen, oh my. He's already. Stefan's already a noble.
he isn't. He's like
Is he?
climb the ladder.
Doofus, he's the Duke of Eastwich.
Yeah,
Or
she's
he's-
the princess.
Anyways,
Well, I
hi
am.
Monica. How are
I am-
you?
She says a lot of things. She is going forwards from what Pyre said. She does say, "Well, I mean, I am the daughter of the Archmage of Ashenvale, so I guess that could make me a princess in some sense. But more than anything, I'm excited for the fishing cruise. I want to see all sorts of glow in the dark creatures out there."
Did neither of you hear the vision warning I just had?
Yeah, we heard. So what?
So
Those
what?
are night glowy creatures.
Just look. I'm sure we can handle the ghosts for the most part. What we need to make sure is Droogle doesn't get dragged off. If Droogle gets dragged off and we can't save him, I will do an emergency fate swap if I have to. But I'd rather not just randomly let one of our friends just die to a ghost like that. If we can help it.
Why not just bring a disposable?
A disposable Droogle? That would be very strange.
I mean, an urchin. No, that might swap the wrong fight. Never mind. Bad idea.
Right. You are all weird. Are you all okay? Am I still dreaming? Why are you all so much weirder than normal?
What's weird about wanting to enjoy a cruise in the evening?
There's
I mean, we're just going fishing. It's not like
well, because we're not going on a cruise.
just go fishing. I mean, it's not like it's
Yeah.
we're going to go hunting.
Listen, Stefan, you
krakens
are.
or something.
I'm just gonna tell you, between him wanting to buy orphans and you being way too happy, I'm worried about both of you right now. I'm not saying you have to be miserable, but you are.
I'm happy.
What- Whatever
So
you're
what?
smoking, I want some of it. That's all.
I'm not smoking anything.
Bullshit. Show me. I want some before we go on this little cruise. Wait a minute. I know where I can get something. Nope, too late. Now I'm gonna go bug him. Well, either way. Oh, that's weird. Hey, Jorah,
Yep.
I can control these two.
Oh, yeah, because they're all set up for the war game. Sorry if I just smacked my
Oh,
mic. It's all set up for the war game, so you can control those two because they are playable characters in the war game and all. Your permissions are all set up in advance, so don't worry
Okay.
about that.
'cause I was sitting there like, ooh, I'm the GM now.
I was trying to be light. Let me be direct.
What?
Are you two sleeping in the same bed together? He says,
Pyre's
looking at
not.
Stefan.
Even if that's the case, that's not your business. They're
Of
both.
course, we're not sleeping in the same bed.
Wait a minute.
All right.
No,
Then I
we're-
misjudged.
Monica, you are an adult, right? I remember you distinctly telling me you're an adult.
Monica says, "No, no, we're not sleeping in the same bed. Instead, we're lovers."
What?
And
I'm gonna
She-
look over. I'm gonna look over at
She
Pyre
grabs-
and say. Look over at Pyre and say, "What did you do?" They weren't like
He-
this before we had this conversation about what did you do to them?
I didn't do anything.
We
I was just
weren't like
blunt.
they weren't like this yesterday. What did you do to them?
Maybe
had
they're
to
not
be
the
it.
same people. Maybe they've been replaced.
Stefan, who's your father?
Asshole Baron of Eastwich.
Okay, see, that's something that's something Stefan would say. Monica, who's your mother?
She just told you.
Yeah, okay, fine. What's the name of your bird?
Or which one are you directing it to? Because they both have birds.
Monica. Monica.
Coco? Why do you ask?
You're an adult, right, Monica?
Yes.
Okay, then theoretically, there's really. It's weird that you just said that, but they're both consenting adults, Pyre.
I mean, I guess you don't have to make kids before marriage.
What are
I
you
don't know.
talking about?
I don't
That's
know.
not even that's not even remote.
They're
Oh my
lovers,
God.
but they're not sleeping together. Maybe it's a dispute. I don't know.
There is such a thing in certain cultures as called proprietary. Proprietary? What the hell, Chuck?
I don't
Propriety.
know the meaning of the word.
There are certain cultures that follow very strict religions about premarital sex, even outside of religious customs.
You know, we don't need to
I
hear
have
the
no idea what's
discussions.
going on. So I ask questions, and it's led to more questions. I'm starting to regret this train of thought. And
I'm
you're
gonna
just
take
dragging me
Monica by
deeper
the
while,
arm,
like,
and we're going to head out the door down towards the docks and just leave.
just a very
Sure,
flabbergasted. Pyre
whichever
staring
one of
at
you in
you.
your lover's quarrel comes to me first, that's whose side I'll take. I shout as they leave. You know, I am a seer. I could perform their wedding.
Monica's parrot just starts laughing maniacally as they both leave the.
I'm gonna look
the
over at
building.
Coco and just narrow my eyes and say, "What did you do to them?" Foul fiend.
I will
Coco
literally
just looks
pay you
back at
not to
you.
marry them.
Coco just looks back at you and just extends like the head feathers just up and down and then turns her head around.
Okay. They've lost their
Right.
minds. They're consenting adults, but they've lost their minds, and it is our job as their friends to just make sure that this is real.
And what
Maybe
happens
they're
next
just
is,
accepting their inevitable death today.
Pyre, what
Is that
happens next
possible?
is you feel something land on your shoulder, and the voice whispers in your ear, "It's none of your fucking business," and then it lifts off and flies away.
We are going to.
He is cursing at the wind and like chasing it with his hands. You have officially made Pyre look like a madman. Congrats.
Are you okay? I was just saying we should accept what our friends' wishes are.
It's a bird. It was the bird.
Right. Anyways.
Why
be
does it
prepared
always
for-
land on me?
Never
Why is it never
anybody
you?
else has it.
I'll just pat Pyre and say, just be prepared for ghosts.
How? How do I get prepared for ghosts?
Magic weapons. They usually are weak to, at the very least, usually they can be hit by magic weapons, or at the very least, magic. Mundane weapons won't work 99% of the time on ghosts.
You've seen me fight. I fight with fire and thunder.
Magical fire and thunder, right?
Yeah.
Then it should be okay. Look, it's the business as usual.
I
You
give
keep
up.
them away from me, and I will keep you alive.
I am not drowning myself in my father's holy symbols, like Stefan. I don't know what the heck is going up with her, and he kind of looks to the others. I guess you guys can take care of yourselves. All right, let's just go before we're late. I don't want to miss the ship.
I will, in my head, kind of reach out to Quelkek and I'll say, "Be prepared for ghosts tonight." I had a vision.
Oh, I'm not even there.
That's why I
I'm not
said
even-
reaching out into his head.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm not in range.
All right.
Oh,
he
that's right.
doesn't
We did
know.
establish there's a range, didn't we? I forgot about that.
I'm not in
You,
range.
you get the message back that the number you're trying to reach is not in
Yeah,
service.
it's
Please try
not
your
in
call
service.
later.
Yeah, let's say damn roaming fees. Come on, let's go.
What was the max range on that again? Was it 200 feet
100.
or 6?
120 unless you change it.
Okay, that definitely out of range then. You are somewhat close-ish to the docks, but that's not enough.
I figured as much.
We will follow after eating.
Mhm.
However, when he gets into range, if I am able to see him, I'll ring him.
Pyre, you ever notice you never saw Monica and the Phantom in the same room? Why is that?
Maybe they weren't lovers before. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I regret asking.
But wait, what? I said the Phantom. What? Stefan's not the Phantom. What are you talking about? There's no way he's the Phantom.
Who else would be?
Monica.
No, she's a woman.
No, that doesn't mean anything. It's perfectly within her realm. She's mischievous. She's smart. She really likes writing in books. The Phantom has communicated with me exclusively in paper.
But she's a woman.
What does that have to do with anything?
The Phantom's a man.
The Phantom, there's no such thing as a Phantom S in common. What are you talking
Exactly.
about?
She physically can't be the
It's
Phantom.
probably a ghost.
Ugh,
Otherwise, she'd be the Banshee or something.
what the f- I'm just waiting to be told we're in fucking range at this point.
Yeah,
Steven is
you're
just
in range at this
bewildered.
point.
It's just bewildered by Pyre at this point. And when he hears Quelkek's voice, he'll just like kind of say, I am having the absolutely most bizarre night. If you tell me that you are also dating Monica, we're going to have to cut this relationship short, Quelkek.
I am sensing a few issues currently with your mental stability at this point.
Oh, I'll be fine in a little bit. Listen, I had a vision last night. Well, I guess tonight. I had a vision. It's regarding our mission tonight. Be prepared for ghosts.
I have already done some initial scouting of the area. It
Oh,
appears that these are not new. There are several journeys that have already been cancelled. Yours not one of them.
several journeys were already being canceled. Were you able to find out why?
Second.
Gonna nudge Pyre while we're talking. I'll say, "Hey, Stefan, get back here!" While we're walking.
You finished?
There have been reports of missing vessels, and it appears that these rumors have made it so that certain captains are not willing to go out into open waters. According to what I've found out, several pleasure cruises have been cancelled, as well as some minor private corporations that have also stayed their boats.
That's actually makes sense. Nathaniel did mention that several ships had gone missing recently, but if my visions are correct, it could be the result of ghosts haunting the water. In my vision, they were actually physically picking up people and carrying them off.
That is not so far from reality.
My visions usually aren't. I will inform
DM.
the other.
DM,
Okay.
was I able to I don't want to say sense, but detect any presences? I know it's probably they're out in open water, but was there anything out of the ordinary around the docks? Very limited area, but I do want to ask. And maybe even residual on boats, even. If there was like something that was on a boat that just came in, is there anything in there?
Make a perception roll.
Okay. Thought I'd ask.
As far as you can sense with that roll, you can sense that, well, you can sense kind of like the air feels just a little bit heavier, but you can't tell if that's if that's more so like we might be getting a storm. It is partially cloudy. You aren't sure if this might be like the calm before the storm or if it's the presence of something, of a ghost or something supernatural within your vicinity. You can't quite peg the feeling. The air just feels heavy.
I'll keep that to myself. It's not hard enough evidence.
We'll be there soon. I'm going to inform the others of what you informed me. You know the meeting spot. We'll see you there.
I will be there.
Perfect. Hey, you two, you three. I'll kind of wave at Pyre and Monica and Stefan. Qualcock just got back to me. Apparently, it's worse than Nathaniel let on. Many ships have canceled their trips tonight based off of the rumors of ships going missing in the open. Well, not just rumors, but the actual evidence of ships going missing in the open waters. This is one of the few that hasn't. Even the rich people aren't risking it, so you know there's something. Pleasure cruises, even many corporations are not letting their boats go out for overnight travel for goods and services.
Interesting. I should talk to the captain and see what he thinks.
I would love
Or-
to.
Maybe there's a
mean-
bounty on solving this issue. I hate to say it, but we are short on funds.
You're short on funds.
Your mom was short on funds.
No, well, yes, but my mother, as I'll remind you, I grew up in the woods, in a tribe.
Yeah.
We didn't need money much.
That's why neither of us have money. You were born out there. I was born with everything I needed.
Do you want to continue digging this hole you're really digging for yourself?
How is it a hole? It's just what
do
it
you mean,
is.
out there? You say that with such contempt. Do you think you're a
You
better
just
demigod
described-
than me?
You were in a situation where wealth was meaningless. You have to trade. You can't just have commerce.
Yes, but I have amassed some wealth recently. I haven't really been
Yeah.
buying much. I kind of just been getting a lot of money without spending it.
Well, what I'm suggesting is if you're
Would you
good
like
with
to buy
money,
some land in Eastwood?
No, I would not, but thank you.
if you have plenty of money, then pay the captain to go out. If you
Well,
don't
he's
have
supposed
enough
to wanna
money,
go out anyway.
There's
gather
he's
people who can hunt the problem so we have a reason to be safe.
or we can, as you pointed out, solve it ourselves and make money.
Mhm.
Okay, let me rephrase. I have money. I'm not noble and rich.
We need to be
But I have
noblemen rich. Solve this, you'll get not just money, you'll get favors. Things are worth stuff.
I already have favors.
I must get more. You can never have too many favors.
I mean, sure, but
We're going out tonight, right?
Yes.
Captain wants
So
to.
frame the situation. You can either pay someone to go out despite the warnings, and they'll be desperate, or you can get someone who's prepared to face the warnings and we can solve it ourselves.
Our
You want people
crews,
who want to seek it, or just us who... Yeah, go ahead.
our job is still on. We haven't. Our ship, our captain is still doing his job.
Oh,
He is being
well,
paid
never
by Lord
mind.
Veer. Yes. I'm saying other ships at an alarming rate that would usually go out overnight are not going out overnight. It's more like our captain is crazy.
Then maybe that should be looked into. But if we have a crazy captain,
Might as well take
let's
advantage.
see that if we solve this, that there's a reward waiting for us and we don't just do it for free.
Well, sure, but
Don't do something for free to be paid for.
Nathaniel already. I'm pretty sure we already owe each other favors at this point, but fine.
Then get other people. The dockmaster, the nobles who are inconvenienced, the fishermen who need help. Pick a faction and make them eat out of your hand.
I thought
Unfortunately.
I was shrewd.
Unfortunately, not all those ships are going to have Drugel on it.
Yes, we just need the one with Drugel. But, point being, just prepare ourselves. We can ask the question of the captain. I know he's going to say he's being paid to, but we could at least ask what he's heard from the other captains. I did not see a particular direction the ghost came from. I only just know that my vision started when we were already being attacked by said ghosts.
Did they come from below the ship? Not from the water, but phasing through the ship.
Above.
GM, how in media res was it?
Very in media res. As far as you could tell, there were already signs that some people were probably being carried off in the distance or already have been carried off. And they were definitely flying overhead, not phasing through the ground or anything like that.
Okay, I'll say my dream started very in the middle. By the time my vision started, people were already being carried off. But
What was the weather?
clear. It wasn't raining. It wasn't storming.
Or
Or was it
actually,
storming?
it's the weather is slight drizzle. Not
What
quite
was in the
storm.
vision?
In the vision,
Also
it's
drizzling?
slight drizzle. Yeah, a slight
Okay.
drizzle. Currently, it's
Also-
partially cloudy still.
I'll say in the vision it was drizzling, but it wasn't storming or anything like that. Nothing that would have made the waters rough. However, when the ghosts were carrying people off, they were going over the water, but they were also going up overhead.
Okay. Which means the ground is probably somewhat safe. Because their forms aren't completely shed. Huh.
It would help to know, which I don't think we'll be able to find out because who else is going to know what kind of ghosts these are.
Well, what were their
believe
race?
it or not.
This
No,
lying
not
ghost.
yes, but there's different types of ghosts. There's different types of spirit entities as well. There's a difference between, for example, a regular ghost and a shadow or a shade versus a wraith, which now that I think about it is not a ghost, but that's not the point. Point is, they're still undead. They have different types of classifications with different types
Fire.
of abilities.
Grabs you, his big, meaty, like lunch pail hands around the shoulders, shakes you, not violently, but just gently, and he says, "You're the seer. See. Tell us details. Tell us what you notice. Look for the edges of the vision." He steps back, lets you go.
Give me a moment. Let me retrace my steps in it. Make sure I don't run into a wall. GM, thinking about it. Because he's got a good point. I know you said it was very in media res, but when they were being carried off, was there a particular direction compared to like the orientation of the ship they were going?
Okay.
Was it always
Uh,
the same direction?
Assuming that you're at the front of the ship, looking inwards. Assuming you're from that point of view, it looks
Mhm.
like they're headed. It looks like they were headed up towards the back of, like, towards the back of the ship, but far over it.
So essentially away from whatever direction the ship was sailing, like directly behind it.
yeah,
Right?
from the looks of it. But
Okay.
who knows? Maybe your ship found something and then started turning around. That
Right.
could be a possibility too. Make a perception roll for me, please.
Sure. Is there any positives or negatives for perceptioning a vision in this case? I ask
I'll
because technically that's
say
my
no.
specialty, but on the other hand, I also understand the vision.
I'll say no, but this is a. But I'll still allow fortunate rolls to be used if you don't roll a number you want.
No, I don't think that's going to be necessary, sir.
There's a ghost ship in the sky.
Oh. Shit.
Oh, ghost
And you
drivers
see,
in the
there's a
sky.
ghost ship in the sky, and you see a figure with a. You see a figure that. In fact, let me just. I forget which image. I have two different images, and I need to make sure I don't mix them up with the other guy. Okay, that's that guy. So that means that this has.
So
to
I know where
be-
the ship is compared to where our ship is at the time of the vision then.
Yep, the ship is directly behind you, up above the clouds. Well, up, mixing between the clouds, but you can barely make it out. You see this guy. You see this
Oh.
guy on the top. And it looks like he has his arms out like he's commanding the ghosts. And then
Does he look
you
familiar to
look-
me in any way?
He does not. And then you look closer, and you can see that he has. It's not a lightning shard, but he has some sort of shard that's in the middle of his body. And he's semi-transparent, semi-corporeal.
But definitely not a lightning shard? I can
It's
tell that
definitely
for
not
sure.
a lightning shard. But it looks vaguely similar to one of the shards you've been looking at. But it's not giving off any sign that it has any electricity in it.
Different ascendancy shard. Oh boy. Question, does it look like it's a shard or does it look like, as far as I can tell, this might actually be the whole stone?
It's definitely much bigger than what you've got right now, and you've got 3 shards.
Secret's gonna open his
I-
eyes.
Get to be a horrible person here. As the residential racist who is not seeing this vision, is this guy the same vibes as the one who is bringing people back to life during the tournament? The referee chicken guy?
Marius Wickman?
Yeah, Soulbinder
You get-
versus Necromancer versus Ghost.
I mean, so this is out of character? Or.
Mhm.
Okay.
Of
Out of
course, I don't know
character,
this. This is for secret.
Okay, for secret and secrets, he gives off a different vibe from Marius Wickman.
Okay, so not necessarily a Soulbinder in the same sense.
Probably not.
Okay. I know it's really far away, but in the vision, do I see a god mark?
You can't really make one out from this distance, but you do make out
Okay.
that shard. It's also he's
Okay.
also semi-corporeal, so a part of the body that might
Don't know
have
what
a god
domain it
mark
is, but it's
might
very
not.
likely an ascendancy, either the whole stone or most of it.
Possibly.
Yeah, Secret's gonna open his eyes and say, "Whoa." Vision got really clear for a moment. Really clear. There's something in the clouds. It's a ship. But not an airship or anything like that. Definitely a ghost ship. they're taking the sailors to the ghost ship. But there's more. There's a man. I think a man. Hard to tell what race. He is half corporeal, half incorporeal, somewhere in between. But he's got a shard in his chest. No, I'm very sure it's an ascendancy shard. Maybe even the whole stone, but it's not ours. It's not the one we're seeking. There's another domain at work.
You
Ship
said they were
is-
dragging off sailors. Were they killing
dragging
sailors?
them off into the air. Into the air. They're carrying them
But
off.
they weren't impelling them, they were carrying them.
They were carrying them. Physically carrying.
Maybe they want to kidnap, or maybe there's something ghoulish I don't understand. But
It's
wouldn't it be
definitely
easier to
something
carry a
related
dead
to-
body?
Maybe. It's very much related to whatever death. I can tell you it's not whoever's up there, it's not a soul binder. Like Mr. Wickman.
Why do you bring Mr. Wickman into this?
He kind of looks like him, but he's definitely not him.
DM, is Mr. Wickman undead, or is he like a high elf, or what's Mr. Wickman?
Good question. I don't think any of you looked that closely, and Zorg's not here to give you an answer either or, and none of you asked him.
I will do a nod, and I'll say Mr. Wickman is an elf of some sort, if I remember right.
This man did have long ears, but I'm telling you, it wasn't actually him. The magic that was
Yeah.
being done was more akin to necromancy than soul binding.
We don't have time to get Mr. Wickman's opinion.
No,
Doubt he has time for us, but
my
if only
point
we had
being,
more.
the only reason I even noticed was one, he seems to be directing the ghost, and two, that shard, or potentially even the whole stone. We need to get our hands on that if possible. If we can. But that does change things. If there's someone who's ascended, or even close to it, we might be able to test the true power of these stones, and we might all end up dead.
Maybe, but it wasn't an attack in your vision. People were being carried to the ship, not dropped. Not clawed,
No,
not possessed, carried.
to a ghost ship in the sky, you struggle too much
Yeah.
or you fall down, it's certain death anyways.
So maybe he just wants to talk.
Or maybe he's harvesting people.
Yeah, that's not unthinkable.
Just keep wanting to break out into Ghost Riders in the sky.
Can we
Keep talking about
not?
the ghost ship.
I'm gonna have Quelkek investigate before we arrive to see if he's heard any rumors of a ghost ship in the sky. Because I've certainly never heard anything like that, but I haven't been out at sea in a very long time. Hey, Quelkek! In my head, of course.
I am currently attempting to search my memories. Give me a second.
Ooh. Wait, what? Oh. Huh?
Okay, just he required a
trying to-
nat 20. He required a nat 20 in order to see it. So who else has been able to get that? Just occasionally gone over to see that.
Yeah,
I'm just
he needed
asking,
a nat
like-
20.
Like he needed a nat 20 to see that much. So who else has been, you know? Have I? That seems like a pretty big thing. If it was all of a sudden, I would have heard something, right? Unless someone's like, "Hey
We-
guys, wow, it's a real boring day outside," right?
So we're gonna go with the previous perception roll because that was your information gathering. It's probably still be
Mhm.
roughly the same. There's no mention of any ghost ship at all. Just some disappearances out at sea.
Perfect. Repeat what you said to me, by the way, Secret.
There's more to my vision. Did anybody mention any rumors of a ghost ship? A flying ship, even?
No, there are the occasional seaside tales, but they are folklore. None of what you speak of.
Did we rule if I can send him images in my memory?
I believe both of you can. At the
We
very least,
did.
Quelkek has done that to you. So you could
Yes.
theoretically do that to him.
I'm gonna try to do the same to him, specifically of the ship and the man.
Do I have to make a check here? Or does he
Uh,
have to make the check?
If you recognize... I'll just say... In this case, I'm just going to say that you don't need to make a check right now. But for in
Okay.
the future, I'll call for it if I think it's necessary. But in this case, I don't think
Okay.
it's going to be necessary.
So I get the whole thing from you, Secret.
Yeah.
And basically, if it doesn't come out clearly, you ask him to send it again, and he just keeps sending it until you do have the full, complete picture, because you have plenty of time right now.
Okay. He'll just be silent for like 5 more minutes as you're going along. This may be beyond our capabilities at this point.
Unfortunately, as much as it may be, we've already made commitments. The point being, if we're able to, I want his stone. It's possibly a fully assembled Ascendancy stone.
Well, that may be true. I would advise caution.
Well, I wasn't going to go get myself killed to do it. I'm not going to run at the man.
Yes,
And I can run
What?
uphill.
the current situation is untenable for what we have right now.
Right now, you're right, but the main goal is if we can get a look at this, we can report it to the nobles to make sure that my vision is real first. And then, once we do that, and we've got them all onto that, we can still continue our mission. But I want to keep Drugel safe. I still think he's a key part of finding our stone.
If I may call you Secret,
You may.
Secret, this current plan should be put to rest. We must report this and keep this Drugel from going on this journey. Until the skies are cleared, we are simply putting someone at risk that is not necessary. I know that this puts a hamper on your plans, but I believe that going out now would simply be irresponsible, knowing what we know now.
It is possible, but the only problem I have with that is occasionally, even my visions are wrong.
You are correct, but is it better not to ensure that there is something there? There is also the case that, should you go back to them, they will not believe your tale. You will require evidence, and the disappearances at the docks do not appear to have risen that many eyebrows, to take a human term.
I think you underestimate my ability to potentially just be the evidence. I am a seer, I'm not a crackhead.
Perhaps. Do not let that be your only source of truth. For others will not see that in the same way as you do, and perhaps those that know you and are close, the skeptics, will see it as nothing more than just that, a dream.
The only person who I could go to above the captain that I can think of would be Lord Veer. Lord Veer would believe me, but also keep in mind, it is incredibly late right now. And if I go to him and say, I have a vision, we have to get your ship out of there, the ability to potentially call that all off might not happen in time. At the very best, we can try to warn the captain now when we get there. In fact, go see if he's already there. You don't necessarily have to interact with him if you're not comfortable with that, but find him. I will let him know the vision. If he wants to cancel this fishing trip, that's fine. And if he's afraid of Lord Veer, I will still speak to Nathaniel. But if we go straight over his head, there won't be enough time with bureaucratic red tape.
In what way? You are speaking to the voice of the city. Surely that means something more than a private captain has any ability. One word and the journey is cancelled, and the investigation can begin.
Words take time, is what I'm saying. Even if they believe me, which I'm sure I could easily get them to, getting the trip canceled in time when it's about to happen in just a few minutes is a seeming impossibility. We would have to, the best chance we have, if you are correct in your assessment that we should cancel this fishing trip, the best chance we have is with the captain. I'm going to discuss it with the others. Your job is to find the captain, make sure he is okay, and let me know where he is.
May I make this assessment? If the captain was willing to go out when there are spirits and specters out, why would this stop him? I see a bias in that decision.
I see a...
He will be insane enough to go out even with that warning.
Maybe, but even just talking to him about it is an opportunity. If he gives off the wrong tells, we might even be able to figure out if he's working with them on purpose.
I would find that to be unlikely, but perhaps...
Unlikely, yes, but the whole vision is strange. The whole thing is unlikely. We cannot take any consideration outside of, well, consideration.
May I ask why, then? We do not wish to simply convince the captain to stay his hand for an hour or so to speak with Veer.
If that works, then that works. But without talking to the captain to stay his hand, otherwise what will happen is he'll leave without us. And that won't work either. We need to talk to the captain first.
You are correct.
If I go to Lord Veer's manor now, you and I will be out of range again. What I don't want to happen is if you go talk to him while we go talk to Lord Veer, and then something happens and you are without backup.
I have said my piece. The court
I will talk.
is in your hands.
I will talk to the others and I will talk to the captain. Please find him. Please assess his mentality from what you can.
It will be done.
Thank you. Also, have a nice night. See you soon. And remember, drink a glass of water.
I will
Alright.
not reply to that. Have I seen the captain?
Yeah, you've basically spent enough time here to just scan the whole place. Droogle sticks out like a sore thumb.
Okay, captain. Let me just double check what I have for spells. I don't want to... Does the captain... Let me do an arcana check on the captain. I want to know if he has any sort of, like, magical properties to him before I do any sort of mental poking around. If there's something else I need to roll. I just want to know whether... I want to know what I'm getting into here before I start doing anything sneakily.
Probably say, so you're trying to see if there's anything funny about him, right?
Basically, yeah, I don't want to stick my hand into some sort of box and it's full of bees.
I'll
Okay.
say perception is probably the more appropriate role for just trying to detect it at a distance.
Okay. Oof.
There's nothing obvious in regards to souls or anything like that, and you don't, at the very least, sense any strong feeling of magic anywhere nearby. there's some residual magic, but this is a high magic setting, so there's probably like some fish traps and other things like that that have a little bit of magical enchantments and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can't do very much. All right. I'll report back to Seeker and just confirm that the captain is here and is in good health.
Okay. I will report to the others and say, hey, Qualkek makes a point, and I want to bring it up with you guys. Qualkek thinks we should see if we can convince the captain to postpone the trip. He makes a good point. If that ghost has an ascendancy stone, we might be out of our league, and we might be risking getting Drool killed, not to mention ourselves, not to mention the other civilians. At the very least, make him stay out of the ocean long enough for us to talk to Lord Veer, so that potentially he should be, because Qualkek has a point. The high authorities should be warned. Their ships potentially are in more danger than they realized, which means they'll want to listen because their profits are in more danger than they realized. Now, on the one hand, I'm very sure I could get Lord Veer to believe me based on my visions alone. After all, I'm a seer and I'm the son of Sir Kava. On the other hand, the other lords might not listen to me as much and might require more hard evidence and witness testimony. Do we want to try to get them to call off this mission? We can't go to the Lord Veer yet, because if we go there first, they'll just set sail without us, and then everybody on that ship will probably die.
Secret. They're
What?
waiting on us. Well, not literally waiting on us, but we had half an hour and we spent most of it talking. Either we
Well,
get
we're
on the
walking and
ship
talking.
or we don't.
Monica, do you have anything in your book might say anything about ghost ships or ghosts? I know you've got a lot of stuff in there that you wouldn't have before you and I got together. Do you have anything in there?
Ghost ships and ghosts. Let's see. Well, we did visit Rosenthia on our way here. That is a very, very, very good question. Okay.
Or maybe you have a sending spell.
That's a very good question. Hold on.
I have thaumaturgy. I can just go outside Veer Manor and just scream really fucking loudly.
20 plus. She would have. Anything about ghost ships? Okay. In general knowledge, well, this is the first time this is the first time that any story of a flying ship has ever entered history, as far as I know. Even in Rosenthia, there weren't talks of flying incorporeal ships. So really, I wouldn't know about the exact qualities, but I could guess, based on my experiences in Rosenthia, if there's any value to that.
Any input would be valuable. Since we have vague ideas, maybe it would help us.
Well, if this person came directly from Rosenthia, it might be the case that they're one of the 3 types of demons, the Undying. Undying tend to be removed from the cycle of reincarnation. When you kill their corporeal form, they just come back later and find a new host or find another body in order to haunt. It's possible that they might be kidnapping people in order to remove the soul from their body and use their body and live amongst people. Similar to how soul binders can move their own souls and souls of other creatures between constructs, inanimate objects, as well as newly constructed bodies.
That would explain the stone. Or what he might be doing with the bodies and what he might be using the stone for. He might be attempting to harvest the people to use their bodies to put these ghosts' souls into the new ones for his army. To make them a little bit more corporeal. Whoever he is. We don't even know who he is. For that matter.
Indeed.
I guess what I'm saying, Secret, is we've survived the underground with the bugs. We are currently working on a conflict between mortals and gods and gods. The ghost ship, yes, maybe some of us will die, but I believe that we have the ability to go through and either fight or negotiate our way through this.
I'm going to ask you a question, Pyre, and I want you to be honest with me. Have you ever directly fought a god before?
No.
Me neither. But that's what those ascendancy shards do to people. They make them essentially gods of a domain. This isn't just some powerful wizard or necromancer. If they are if it is an ascendancy stone of a particular domain, we're talking about fighting a god, especially compared to us. It's not the same thing.
If he were a complete god, he wouldn't need to be trying to harvest souls.
True, I could not tell if it.
And your image of him going for Drugel, and our knowledge that Drugel sometimes finds a stone. Maybe he is trying to ascend, and he's looking for a particular stone, and he's had the same feeling about Drugel and wants to see what he can do.
Maybe, but here's the problem. The stone this man had was not of a lightning shard. That much I know for sure. Everything about it was wrong. It was bigger than the combined fragments of ours. But you're right. I cannot necessarily state if it was a full stone if he was fully ascended into a god. That is admittedly beyond my understanding because I haven't personally seen it.
He may be searching like we are. And these glowing fish may have more than one type of stone among them.
Maybe we're going about this wrong. Everything we've done has been killing things. Nothing in your vision suggests that it is killing. It's simply forced boarding. You know that Drugel is supposed to return with what you expect. So if that is the case, maybe he's helping us. Maybe he's the reason why Drugel finds one. Why does Drugel return with one if Drugel gets dragged away by one of these?
Because in my vision, Drugel, I watched him cut it out of a fish. He didn't. Yeah. My vision watched the lightning shard. He had a fish. He cut open the fish. He pulled it out of the fish's guts.
Did he have the lightning shard when he was dragged away?
No.
So, well, it could be.
They're two different events. Maybe.
If they're different events, you can also assume that they're not conflicting events. Drugel survives the encounter. He's able to get the fish. He's able to get the shard. And he's able to return to port. That means this god thing, whatever you want to call it, ascended, is not after the shards.
No, but if he's doing a completely different thing and then we get turned into thralls in the process, we can't necessarily complete our mission either.
You're right, but we have to take risks. Drugel is supposed to get the shard. Drugel should survive. We need to go, and we need to take risks, else none of this matters.
I do agree with you that we need to take risks, but I also think taking risks without at least warning somebody about my vision is incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody
Tell
at
the
least
damn
needs to know where we're
captain and
going.
let's see what he says. Talking
Let's
about
get
it gets us
messengers.
nowhere.
Okay. All right. We'll talk to the captain. I will at least tell him about my vision. Let him decide what he wants to do. But we're at the very least we're gonna. If I have to pay for it myself, we are going to get a message to Lord Veer, one way or the other, about this damn vision.
Yeah.
Even if we go on the
Send
ship.
multiple messengers, different languages. It helps.
Well, now that would just be silly.
No. It's espionage. It's information warfare. Information gets intercepted by thugs, they don't know how to read it.
You're gonna have to remind me, Jorah. Did I ever speak to Veer and Celestial at any point? I feel like I did.
Good
Yeah,
question.
you were.
I think you did.
Because
I
you
think
both did,
Yeah.
and you didn't want some people over.
Okay, yes, okay. So then I will nod and say, you have a point, Pyre. We share language, just like the language you and I share that's not common.
I'm not telling you not to do these things. I'm saying be smart, trust in your training. Just because something is overwhelming force doesn't mean you can't overcome it. It just means you have to work on a ground that it doesn't have the advantage.
I will also point out that your ambitions and your ambitiousness are liable to get people killed.
Absolutely. There's no way around that. I may
Yes,
even
but
get myself killed.
I was gonna say,
if
what
I
happens if that's
can't-
us?
Star, I aspire to more than just fulfilling
Star?
a father's fetch. Sorry. Secret! It starts with an S! Secret! If I aspire to more than doing my father's fetch quest, I must push myself to my limits. And if I'm unable to do basic things, even talking to a different god that I do not know the information of, that I am not worthy to aspire to more.
I disagree, but aspirations are just that. Aspirations. You don't need to be worthy to aspire. Do you need
One
to be
does not
worthy to
aspire.
Does one need to be worthy to think about making a sandwich?
Yes. You have to actually make it.
Oh my
You have
god.
to think.
Okay. You're right. You win. I have to be worthy to make the sandwich. Is the captain there? Are we at the dock
Yes.
at this point?
Yep.
Secret's about to
We're-
go insane.
Make a
You
good
are at the
sandwich.
dock.
It takes
does take.
who's smarter than the sandwich to make it.
You're not wrong. I will give you that. You were absolutely right.
And out of character, I just want you guys to bear in mind that there will be multiple ascendants in the world, and you can't exactly address all of them at once. You do have to pick and choose
No.
which ones you go to. So,
Okay. So,
That bit of wisdom actually came from my grandson. We stopped for a pizza someplace one time, and it wasn't very good. And his comment as we left was, you know, you got to be smarter than pizza to make a decent one.
oh my god. To be fair, it is good effing wisdom. That's for sure. Okay. So, Captain. Gonna find him. Gonna introduce ourselves,
Ahoy.
or at least myself.
right on time. Come on, get yourselves ready. We gotta go.
Hey, before we go, did your boss tell you who I am, who we are?
We heard something about. We did hear something about, Seer or some such. Is that you?
That is me, and I've come to you with a vision about your specific voyage. You can
Oh,
do with
really?
it as you will.
We're
Yes.
we're gonna find our big haul, right, buddy?
No, you're going to find out exactly why people's ships are going missing. Because
Wait,
I've
what?
seen it. Yes. Now, I'm going to simply tell you this information, and then you will make the decision, but you are going to make a few caveats along the way. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Seer Secret Dream, Seer of the Church of Sirkava, son of the of God Sirkava. There was a vision. Your ship, in particular, with myself and my cohorts and yourself on it, were attacked by ghosts. Your crew was carried off into a ghost ship into the sky. I know that sounds ridiculous. I am very aware the entire thing sounds ridiculous. And if I didn't have the vision myself, I would tell you that whoever told you about this vision was a drug addict. But I am not some random drug addict. I am a seer of the church. So I will tell you this. If you still want to go and risk it, risk your crew and risk your life to potentially be turned into a ghost yourself, you will at least deliver a missive to Lord Veer, or at least you will have a messenger do so before we go out, because somebody else needs to know about this, somebody who I know will understand the potency of my visions. But you, as the captain, need to decide what your crew is worth and what your lives are worth, and if you think it's worth it. On the one hand, if you come back with this information and you're able to, along with us, come back with this information and potentially tell the nobles why their ships are going missing, you might be rewarded handsomely. On the other hand, you also could just straight up die with the rest of your crew. It is your ship and your voyage. I understand who your boss is. Believe me, I talked to him personally. I don't mean your boss, I mean your boss's boss.
Okay. Make a persuasion roll with advantage.
Okay. And if he still wants to go out, like I said, that's fine, but you're sending out a thing first.
His name's Captain Greyfield, by the way.
Persuasion with advantage rolling.
Yep.
19.
I will admit it's a bit of a tall tale. I'm not exactly a follower of Sirkava, but I do appreciate his blessing. Well, seeing how I have two options, sitting here and rotting in harbor for a little bit, or going out there and doing a first-hand investigation,
Like I said, there's wisdom in both courses of action. That's what my people as seers do. We bring you the information to bring so you can make your decision. Make no mistake, if you go out there, I am coming with you, and I am powerful, but I am not that powerful. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I am akin to the gods. That's ridiculous. I am just as vulnerable to death as you are.
he says, well, it's just the three of you. Quelkek is Quelkek going off to talk to Veer, or is he still within the area?
I'd be sticking around until true consensus was
Okay. He says,
brought.
okay, you're sticking around. So, the captain says, well, the three of you managed to do the impossible and catch a golden rooster, right?
Yes, that's us, kind of. I mean, it is us, but
And you all have a penchant for entering into some tournaments. At the very least, I know Champion Ash has. Something about some large dragon and some wizard of some note, and among other people.
sure.
So how do you... So... You sure you're... you guys sure you aren't capable of more? Because I think you're underselling yourselves. You seem to be
I-
willing to prove yourselves an upward challenge.
I am not a warrior. My friends are, but I am simply a priest and a healer. A very powerful healer, but just a healer. Now, my friends, on the other hand, are very fine warriors and combatants. But I'm not here to upsell things. I'm here for you to make a decision, but you will, if you go out, you will capitulate to my demand about a missive being sent to Lord Veer before we go. Somebody has to know.
What's going to
just
be
in
on the
case you don't come
missive?
back.
Yeah.
Basically just what you've told me, or is there going to be something extra?
There's probably going to be something extra that is above your pay grade. All you have to know is that there are ghosts involved. And they have a ghost ship that flies in the sky.
Alright. Let's see. I'm just gonna make one roll.
I'm not technically trying to convince him either way, just to clarify. I just want him to know I'm legit.
So he's going to say, well, tell you what. As long as you and your buddies come along for the boat ride, then we will be heading out. But if you want me to stay, then all you have to do is just refuse to board the ship.
Okay, let's take a vote. Pyre, do you wish to go?
I wish permission to come aboard,
Okay.
Captain.
Permission granted.
He'll walk onto
Stefan?
the ship.
I smile, take Monica by the arm, and say, "Welcome aboard," and walk on.
Yep.
Are we going to
This
assume
is gonna
Ash
be
and Zorg are
exciting.
with us, at least as characters?
If you want, I wasn't sure if you wanted to write them out because you said 4, but even if
Oh, the only reason I said 4, I wasn't thinking about it because, But,
I
I
mean-
mean, on the other hand, what would they do without us anyways? But on the other hand, it's also kind of rude to make assumptions for them. I don't know how you feel about that.
well, the thing is,
I feel
When they
like
do
it could be
show up-
written in or out.
yeah,
just
pretty much.
stated.
that was my intention, that it's just going to be assumed you 4, and when they show up, they just happen to be below deck then with you all along. We just never mentioned
Okay.
them. Stuff like
So-
that. But in regards to the voting, I think both of them would be gung-ho if you ask
Okay.
me, based on their previous actions.
Going on the ship?
They probably would,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Then I will say, in my head, I will say, Quelkek, you and I are outvoted. I have brought the captain his information. I still have a job to do. Contracts must be upheld if I am to maintain my favor with Lord Veer.
Then allow me to be the one in your stead. Should your word mean something through my voice, this must go through something more than a secondary messenger, I presume.
Well, I do agree with you. I also don't want you in the city by yourself. There are still other machinations at work, and if you are caught, you will have no backup.
And basically, you guys aren't going to be leaving right away. If Secret says that, hey, I've got another guy, then he's willing to wait as long as it takes for you to go deliver your
Okay.
message and then come back and board the ship, so that you're not
So I will-
completely
yeah.
cut off.
I will say, you are probably faster than myself. I'm going to give you the message to bring to Lord Veer, and I'm sure I can get him to wait for you. Will you be coming?
Yes, I will be joining you.
Very well. I think you have my entire vision in full, including my suspicions about the Ascendancy Stone Please deliver those to Lord Veer post haste. At my discretion, use my name. Do whatever you have to do.
I will require a written note. Your name will suffice.
Give me a moment. I will start writing it. I'm going to look at the captain and say, I need a pen. I need a paper. I have one other person who is going to join, who I believe is also a skilled combatant. If you want to survive this, we need as many people as possible.
I look at Monica and say, give him a piece of paper and a pen.
Oh, thank you both.
Yeah, Monica
a
does
lot
do
easier.
exactly that. Yeah.
It's a lot easier to get it there than the captain go looking for it.
Well, the captain does
Yeah.
have a little, I guess it's like a stick of graphite. It's not exactly a pencil or anything. It's just a raw chunk of stone that he uses.
Yeah,
to
no,
mark
fuck
things.
that. It needs
But
to
yeah.
be beautiful. but I will say,
Well,
will you at
dictate it,
least?
Monica will write it then.
I will at least
Except the
say,
signature,
yeah, I need the signature, but I'll say, will you at the very least wait for me to call this combatant to increase your chances of survival?
Sure, go ahead. Just don't take
You have
too
all night
long.
anyways, right?
Not
He won't.
necessarily, but yeah.
He's fast. I just need my faster messenger to get to him.
You have my blessing. Go ahead.
Okay.
Time's a wasting.
All right. Does
I
Monica
will-
speak so? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, as soon as this happens and I get the confirmation in his head, I'm already gonna be walking up to meet him, so he doesn't have to go meet me. I'm gonna pick up whatever he has
Okay.
and get
Does
going.
if Monica's probably a faster writer than I am, because it sounds like she
Yes.
is, I'll dictate it to her. But I'm just curious. Does she speak Celestial?
That I don't know.
She
She
asks you to repeat yourself when you say something in Celestial.
Oh fuck. She speak Elvish?
Of course.
I believe so, yes.
Oh fuck. But wait a minute. I don't think Lord Veer speaks Elvish. Actually, that
But-
might be a
but-
good thing.
If she speaks Elvish, she can
Get
just write in
people
whatever
to
language.
translate it.
She can, well, that too.
Right. Well, no. The point is okay. So basically, I want one part. I'm taking Pyre's advice, where like the really important bits, I feel like need to be in a foreign language that random thugs aren't just going to know, right? But like the part that like in common, I'd be like, hey, Lord Veer, please see the back for some important information, important classified information, or something along those lines. And then basically, I'm going to dictate in a language so that the captain doesn't understand what the hell I'm saying, because holy shit. I will dictate my vision. I will dictate that we are going to go investigate because time is of the essence and we might have a rare opportunity for this. But I am also letting him know about this for obvious reasons, and you and your forces might want to investigate a ghost ship specifically because there might be another ascendant who is either fully ascended or very, very close to fully ascended that's picking off the ships with ghosts.
All right.
That becomes a matter of national security.
Indeed. And the next question is, do they have the tools necessary to fight a half-ghostly...
That's not my
fighter?
problem. We're going to go see just how half ghostly it is.
We could definitely just stock up on holy potions, but again, that's
I'm-
time constraints. I'm fine with investing the gold, but I don't know if we have the time.
I don't know if we have the time either. I mean, theoretically, I could. If you have the materials for me, I could start just trying to make as much holy water as I can out while we're sailing.
It takes time and slots and stuff. Could that have just been stocked up before we left at breakfast, or do you want us to do it in the
'Cause
moment?
yeah, that's actually a good point. I did mention this vision while we were at the church still. Would I have been able to requisition some stuff on my way out?
Yeah, considering that you probably knew that you were going to be fighting ghosts, you probably would have requisitioned some vials of holy water that they have on hand.
All right.
Yeah,
And plus,
perfect.
I'm a goddamn seer, so I mean, it's not like I'm just some random crackhead. But like, give me. I'm literally a powered person at the church. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then
You get 4 vials, basically.
I will then take the letter from Monica so that I can give my signature, which is probably something that actually kind of looks kind of feral, given where he's from a tribe rather than civilization. So it might be like really weird looking. But then I will put it in an envelope and I will hand it to Invisible Quelkek by the time he gets there.
No, I'm not invisible. Just a 6
Oh.
foot, just like a shadow shows up next to you. I'm not invisible. You can hear me,
Right.
and I'll
Uh,
take it from you and put it into my cloak, with just like an unseen arm, and then I'm gonna waddle off towards a little alleyway and go on my way as fast as I possibly can. However,
say-
how long is it gonna take to get there? By the way, DM. From where we are to general.
To be honest, that's probably, if I was being generous, if you just dash the whole way, it might take you half an hour on a round trip, basically.
A round trip, a half an hour?
Yeah, 15 minutes to, and then
15 minutes.
back.
Holy
wow,
cow! Yeah,
we-
I'm as soon as I get in the alleyway and I'm out of their eyesight, casting invisibility, I'm going.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
because basically you're the 1%er district and the harbor are almost at opposite ends.
Yeah, I want to get to his place, but I'm gonna go as fast as I can, and then I'm only gonna break invisibility to talk to guards, whoever. If I can make a mental connection when I'm outside of it, great. I'll try to find an area where it's not creepy of me doing it, like he's in the bathroom or something. You know, I'll wait for a moment if I can try to get that mental connection. If not, I'm just gonna walk up to the front gate and we'll start from there.
Okay. We'll do so. You never made a mental connection with the Veer, did you?
No, I have never done so.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
That is.
So yeah, you walk up to the gates. You don't exactly see him out in the open nor within range to actually establish that connection right now, but the guards kind of turn their heads. They hear something running. They look in your direction. It's up to you if you want to drop invisibility before you start coming into vision, or if you want to wait a little bit. It's up to you.
I'm gonna do it basically if there's an alleyway. I'm gonna be invisible up to the alleyway, and then as before I exit, I will reappear. So basically, they'll just be kind of like from their perspective, it'll just look like a cloud of ash and smoke just kind of billows out of the alleyway. Not like violently, but just like a mist machine rolling out onto the street before I'm gonna then slow my pace and kind of jog up to them. I'm not trying to keep myself to a. I'm trying to make it so that
Minimal
they
level of
obviously.
threatening.
Oh yeah, I want them to see me. Like I want them to know that I'm there. I'm trying to make that
Okay.
known.
They both turn their heads in your direction. There's a female one and a male one. The female one, she just has this expression on her face like, huh, you don't see that every day. They look relaxed as you do walk up and slowly tense up. And the female guard puts her hand up and she says, "Halt! What business do you have with the House of Veer?"
I will bow my head towards them.
I come with a message from one of his associates. It is urgent.
And you hand them the letter, right? Or do you say
Yeah.
you want to go in personally?
I would say I would keep the letter in my hand, but I'm showing them, so I'm kind of like allowing them to see the signature, and then I'll say, I'll kind of speak his name towards them, but that's all. I basically say that I have to deliver this personally. Yeah, I'm just showing them with one hand.
An urgent message, I take it, straight from the church. All right. Wait here. Hopefully Mr. Veer isn't going to be too grumpy that we've interrupted his beauty sleep.
I will take that against myself.
About 5 minutes pass, and the gates open up again, and she basically says, "Come here, follow me. Mr. Veer has set up a private room."
I will follow her silently to wherever she leads me.
Alright. She leads you to what looks like Mr. Veer's study. He's currently got a big stack of documents or some sort of paper right next to him. He's got some reading glasses up, and he looks up at you and he says, Greetings. And, just double checking. You never properly introduced yourself to Mr. Veer, right? You've only been
I did not.
passingly mentioned.
I have only been passing.
Okay.
Yes.
And he looks up and he says, glad to finally make your acquaintance. You must be the one working with Secret, correct?
You are, my lord. I come with an urgent message from him. His visions have returned, and they appear to pose a suitable threat to this domain, should it be true.
And
Give
I'll
it
like
here.
I'll extend out my hand and hand him the letter.
He takes it, he opens it, he gives it a scan, and he closes it and says, So it's not just one shard we're dealing with another shard, and potentially even more. From what I've heard, the other noble houses are also preparing their various expeditions. It seems that ascendancy fever has grabbed hold of the upper nobility in Veer. One can only wonder what's going to happen to the cities in the near future.
I do not wish to see any harm come to this domain. It would be a repeatance of history that I do not wish to witness.
It's possible you're going to see a miniature divine crusade here in Veer eventually. It seems that a lot of the other nobles are dead set on trying to seek out this power. But that's none of your concern at the moment. I'll do what I can, but it's going to be difficult fighting against a ghostly threat, assuming that they are ghostly. We might have to seek counsel from Mr. Wickman himself, or seek help from Rosenthia. They would be best suited to fight with ghostly and incorporeal threats. But we'll do what we can in the short term.
It was his idea to propose it to you, not for the purposes of an immediate, as in tonight. He still plans on going out and completing his mission. I am joining him. Should something occur, this may be a final message. I do not wish for it to come to that, but I did console him to send this to you. For that very reason.
A very wise decision. I see. Very well. We'll keep an eye out. And I forget, is there any other important note besides the warning that you wanted to express?
I was just very clear on what my vision was,
Yeah.
and that there was another stone. There wasn't really any other warning. It was more just like, hey, we're going out to investigate this in case we don't come back, because we still have other things that are going on.
And upon the delivery of the message, Veer pulls out his sword. He says, I won't be able to drop you off directly at the port, but I'll be able to cut the distance down at least a fair bit. So, try to keep yourselves alive out there. This is just a scouting mission, and even if you fail to grab the shard, you still have many other chances in the future. Don't go out there and die for nothing. And he cuts another portal for you.
As you wish, my lord. I will attempt to some of the more volatile elements of our company.
And if at all possible, try to... And if at all possible, we've already seen that Secret has knowledge of that lightning shard, so if it comes down to it, at least try to contest the power of that. I'm not sure if you can as well, but I've definitely noticed more than one person using lightning magic.
I will keep it in mind when the time comes.
And I will give him one final head bow, and then I will pass through the portal.
Alright. Your return back is also uneventful. You do see... a bunch of tourists and partygoers still kind of celebrating like a terrorist attack hadn't just happened in this town hall. You do hear murmurs of the town hall catching fire, but nothing about no wind of any assassination plot or anything like that.
Well, when I get back to the docks, I'll take something out of my cloak, and if I'm able to find that spot, I'll skip a stone. Can I do a sleight of hand for that? Just see how many times I can skip
Sure.
that thing? Okay. Totally unrelated, but I just want to see. I want to impress people. Just like this 6-foot dude who's able to do this. Let's see.
It's average. If you throw the stone competently, it maybe skips about, 5 times maybe. 5 times on the water before sinking under.
Alright, I'll return back to them.
Ah, see? I told you my last warrior would arrive.
I'll just sort of connect with you, Secret, for a second.
The message has been delivered.
Good.
He has requested that this be viewed as a scouting mission. We are not to engage. As he has stated, there are other chances in the future. Bear that in mind, the others.
I will do my best to reign Pyre, and I am aware, or I am in agreement, I'd rather not die on this mission. But we need to at least see what we can learn. Come.
I'll follow him onto the boat.
Come along, Captain. I believe you have a voyage to lead. Hopefully you're making the right decision.
Hoist what is it? I do not know sailing terms. He basically says, unfurl the sails. Unfurl the sails. Let's get going.
Warp 9!
Might lift anchor too.
Yeah.
No, just
And
leave
lift the
that down.
anchor.
We're gonna go right in a circle and crash right back into the dock.
And
Maximum
ship's
bluff,
flying
0
so-
captain skills.
I literally just got hired for
Now
that
you
gig
know why
yesterday.
he's still alive. Not the others.
Yeah.
He doesn't
'Cause he never-
raise the anchor and they just go around in circles.
Good job, men. Good haul today. We didn't catch anything. Good haul today.
did I stutter, motherfucker? Okay.
He's literally just buying fish at the market to show like Lord Veer, like, look at this great haul. I even cut it up for you already.
Premium quality fish. Okay.
Isn't this from the House of Wild? No.
But that's our closing scene as the ship sails
Oh,
off
boy.
into the distance as drizzle begins to fall down onto the sea and onto the deck of the ship. Drugel seems to be out front with his arms crossed. And he eventually finds you, Sigrid, and he asks you, so, do you think we're actually gonna bump into ghosts out there? Or do you think that we're going to avoid our meeting with fate.
Fate will catch up with us no matter what we do. Ghosts
Well,
or
then-
not.
Well, then I suppose
It's
all
luck
we can do
you
is keep...
want.
Yes. I suppose all we can do is pray. Or just keep running.
We just gotta pray and be lucky. Besides, Drugel, you'll have me.
I mean, from your own words, you're not exactly worth that much. You give a greater value to all your companions, from the sounds of it.
And that is the greatest gift you can give. Empowering people to do your bidding. I tap them on the forehead. Think about it.
The funny thing is, that's actually one of his abilities. The command ability. Someone can immediately move and act. But yes. Yeah, I understand. I used to be part of a militia back then. I know a thing or two about giving orders to capable people to do jobs for you.
And tell you what, I don't trust this captain in the sense that he is going to do something because he is desperate for glory. When he goes crazy, I want you to keep the normal sailors in check. Can you do that for me?
Sure, I'll try. I have a little bit of commanding practice, but don't get your hopes up.
I just need you to keep people from doing really, really stupid shit.
Yes, but if we bump into ghosts, I'm also going to have to keep the peace as well and get people on task instead of panicking. But we'll do what we can.
Watch your back.
You don't need to tell me twice.
Good. Then I'm gonna go do my prayers before this. See you soon.
And that's the closing cutscene as the ship sails off into the distance.
I'm clapping. You can't hear it because I have to clap quietly.
Resisting the urge to have Pyre have immediate seasickness.
Wait a
Oh.
minute. This isn't fire.
Oh, don't worry, I got just the fix for you. You want to try
No.
mystery potion number 3?
No.
And that's how Pyre started vomiting fish.
So I have a question for you now that the session is over. Because we skipped last week because of the absences, are we going to every other week, whereas we will still play next week as the original schedule? Or are we going to say now every other week starting from this week?
We'll do every other week starting from this week. And if we
Okay.
if we can't play on that week, then it's going to be the next week until we get a session, basically.
Okay. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, guys.
Okay,
See you on the
thanks
21st.
again, and
Yeah.
we're
Thanks for
going
running,
along.
Jorah.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Can't wait to see ghosts.
And as the
Or maybe I
scene
can't.
closes, you see Stefan pulling a tarp out of the picnic basket and erecting it so that he and Monica are sitting under a tarp instead of out in the rain.
God.
It was rain. It looks like rain, so we brought it along. Be prepared.
Yeah, Monica uses a little bit of wind magic to keep the tarp aloft, so that you don't need to keep.
Don't even
Yeah,
need
never
to
mind. I'm
take
not
it
praying
down.
about the. I'm not praying about the ghosts anymore. I'm praying about those two and whatever demonic possession has come upon both of them.
What's going to happen is the ghost captain is going to kidnap half the crew, see him and Monica, and just immediately return the crew and just book it out of there.
I'm not dealing with that. I think he just literally says, "I'm not dealing with that."
Seeing us
You
there,
two-
our picnic basket and bottle of wine.
Yeah, he's not dealing with that. He's like, "Oh, whew. Thought this was a fishing vessel. Sorry, I apologize." He just, like,
I'm
dumps-
gonna jump overboard.
It's about time. Hey, listen. When you do a flip.
I can't. The ropes don't allow me.
Oh,
It'd be more
shit.
of just like an unflattering somersault belly flop right into the water.
I like a prey mantis.
No, they'd be more. They would have more athletic ability than I do.
Okay. I need to send you a video. Hopefully I don't regret it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do.
Oh,
You're
you know
gonna
what's
see-
funny? Here's
Go
the
ahead.
deal. I had the last character I ever played in a game, 2E. My character died in the beginning of the dungeon, fell into a lava trap. His brother came up, and then it was bad time, just like an insta kill situation. Next time he pulled is it a specter? Whatever the thing does that ages you, except no one had magical weapons and I didn't have anything, so I was a fighter. Basically, I was used as fodder for that aging mechanic, and my character died of being 120 years old.
Oh.
I have bad experiences with ghosts, man. I am not ready for this. So basically,
okay.
that was like the last thing I played, by the way, because I was like, I'm done. There was like the first session died, second session ghost, both characters died in 2 sessions. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm not, no more.
We'll
Any
see how much
magical
more
weapons?
nightmare fuel I give you.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to this, man. Oh boy. Though to be
Yeah.
honest, I would love to see like a ghost skimmer or something, or just like a rowboat come down and there's like a ghost skeleton on it and he's just firing cannonballs. I don't know. There's so many creative things you can do with ghosts. It's insane because they have no limitations on physical form and how they deal damage.
Indeed. I'll have
Frick,
to
you
say,
could just do a giant kraken or something, or the Loch Ness monster, or have a Loch Ness monster that's made out of the bones of like 1,000 dead seamen that have been apparently fashioned into like a prehistoric monster, and all of a
You
sudden
said
that's what you're
semen.
fighting. Okay.
I'm mature.
Anyway, that's my rant about ghosts.
yeah.
When the artificer releases his mechanical dog who tears the bones apart.
That'd be great, actually.
Hey, we'll see you all in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
See you
okay.
guys.
Take care. I have a lot to prepare for.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
All right. Also,